Loneliness is the coat you wear, a deep shade of blue is always there. The sun ain't gonna shine anymore, the moon ain't gonna rise in the sky, the tears are always clouding your eyes when you're without love, baby. Emptiness is the place you're in, with nothing to lose, but no more to win. The sun ain't gonna shine anymore, the moon ain't gonna rise in the sky, the tears are always clouding your eyes when you're without love. Lonely without you, baby.
When you turn out the lights, you make me feel like it's Halloween. It's Halloween. When you smoke on the house, you make me feel like it's Halloween. It's Halloween. You cut me off from my friends, you cut me off from my family. I'm in misery. Each day I fall to my knees, I see the writing is on the wall. Now I'm in withdrawal. There is no way out. Right here instead. When you turn out the lights, you make me feel like it's Halloween. It's Halloween. When you smoke around the house, you make me feel like it's Halloween. It's Halloween.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. It's me, Ethan Van Skyver, your friend, 30 or better in the comic book industry world's most charming, disarming, eloquent, and yet humble man, great big apprentice, and trusted member of the media. And how are you all? Ladies and gentlemen, today, game two of the NCL day, Phillies. Wait, did I say that right? National League Championship Series, NLCS. Today, the Phillies kicked Arizona's ass. I love my Phillies. I know you guys don't care about baseball, but I do. I love it. Look at this. Man, what must that be like? That is so cool. I wish I were playing baseball. That'd be amazing. How are you guys? Let me stretch my back out for a little bit. Enough with this sports ball, says Hendon Schneely. We got a little ways to go yet. We got October. Listen, I mean, baseball may stretch out into November this year for the Phillies. It's going to be awesome. Tell us old convention tales about Tommy guns, says just Kevin Ryan. Drones do make amazing cameramen. Yeah, it's just like, what must it be like to be on that enormous stage, surrounded like in a coliseum of roaring Philadelphians? Just that they're talking about how noisy it is. Like, Philadelphia fans are loud. And then you're just out there on this big stage. There are, fireworks going off behind you, and you just routed Arizona Diamondbacks, champions, 10-0. You beat them 10-0. Like, that's not even a baseball game. So I wish I were there. I can't. I look at the tickets every day, and I look at Andrea like, she's like, you're not going to that. Too expensive. Go to a playoff game, Ethan. I can't do it. I can't justify it. I really think about it, and it's just like, I'd like to go, but I can't. It wouldn't be right. Doc Brewski for $2 says Ricada just critiqued a page from ISOM. Spot on. Oh, you're kidding me. Menthol Meow says, what's on Ethan's shirt? Okay, it says defund police informants. It means stop paying people to rat on the mob. That's what it means. Stop paying other mobsters. There are all these websites up there right now. I mean, all these YouTube channels of like former rats who were telling their mob tales. Fucking stupid. Josiah Haynes, how's it going, fatty? It's going all right. Today was an interesting day. Spent a little time at the warehouse doing some work when some visitors showed up. I think you guys probably saw that video. Very interesting. Is baseball the one with the black and white ball that you kick across the court? No, I think you mean soccer. And is soccer field a court? It's not called a court, right? You'd have to sell 2 red boxes to buy 1 nosebleed seat, says old man yelling at the clouds. Yeah, no, not even a nosebleed seat. Standing room only. Standing room only tickets right now are $400, and that means you don't get to sit down. You can walk around on the outside, the outside of the stadium and hopefully find a spot on the rails so that you can lean over and watch the game. I can't do that. I have too much dignity for that. Lombardi says, finally caught a stream. I've been working a lot. Hail EBS. Thanks. Alfred Rises is here. He says, good video. That was funny. Oh, you did? Okay. Are we talking about the video that was out there today? The video that got posted today? Phil's Rangers. I don't know. I like to think so because I'm kind of afraid of the Astros because of what happened last year. Ethan, why aren't you crowdfunding behind home plate tickets and sitting on national TV wearing all CG gear? That's a great idea. I'd love to do that. I can't imagine how that would work though. Hey, good news, guys. DC confirmed today the Green Lantern does not have sex with J. Edgar Hoover. Fucking, this is 2023. This is where we are right now. DC Comics has to come out and, I don't know, make people feel a little bit better about the idea that if you thought the Green Lantern was in a non-consensual sexual relationship with the former head of the FBI, well, it's not true. I can't. This is 2023, the comic book industry. It is something else. Despite Hoover being into it, says Narwhal. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. Like, people kind of picked up that legend, like J. Edgar Hoover dressed in drag and he was gay. I mean, maybe he was. I don't know. Seems like it could have been, it could have just been the mob doing that to shut him up, keep him in line, make him look not serious. Who's shipping Hoover and Green Lantern? Well, let's find out. I mean, this was an article in Bounding Into Comics like a couple days ago, and I looked at it and I went like that. When I saw the article in Bounding Into Comics, I went, and that's pretty much all I could do. He definitely blew. Probably did blow Nixon. Delusional freak, says Von Beck. No, GL did not have sex with Hoover. He just sucked Hoover. Oh boy, like a vacuum cleaner. All right, let me look at this and see what the story is. A few bad actors. Who wrote this? Oh, Rich Johnson, of course. Shameful. Lombardi says for $10. Well, thank you. Well, now I feel Green Lantern has no direction. Right the ship. Yeah, like it seemed like it really was going somewhere. Like the story about Green Lantern having gay sex with J. Edgar Hoover, at least that was a story. Laserbeam Hawkins says, finally got my Cyberfrog toys, Uncle E. They're fantastic. Just waiting for my electric blue. Any more red shirt Heathers available? Yeah, we got red shirt Heathers. Go order them on the electric blue Cyberfrog campaign. We will ship them out to you. Good man, EVS. Oh, look at this. CG Overnight starts now. ComicsGate Overnight. ComicsGate Overnight. Let me think about that. You know, it's like the way my schedule works, like sometimes I'm like awake in the morning, and so like you know, whenever I fall asleep, I fall asleep. I work until I pass out. And so my schedule shifts. I'll work like 18-hour days, and then just or maybe even 19 or 20 hours sometimes, and then just end up like on a weird sleeping schedule. But right now, like, yeah, like I'm waking up around midnight, passing out around 6 o'clock, waking up at midnight. So it'd be interesting to do a show that's like ComicsGate Overnight. Kamikaze's here. That joke writes itself. Let me think of a name for this show, because I had the morning show that was simple. Like the ComicsGate morning show was simple, and people liked it. But the idea of doing a show that goes like all night would be cool. I don't know if there are too many people doing that. I think like Camel Moon does it, a few others, but your schedules are erratic. Yes, indeed, it is. So you missed the Phillies game. Here's how I absorbed the Phillies game. Andrea was watching it in bed, like, and I was trying to stay awake. Like she was looking forward to it all day. So, you know, she was up, she had like, you know, some tea, she had a little popcorn, and she's sitting there, she's eating popcorn in bed. And I'm like next to her lying down and trying to keep my eyes open. And I'm catching, I'm like drifting in and out of sleep, catching the game. Yeah, so I'm going to go back and watch the whole thing all the way through. But yeah, like I was like, oh my God, every time someone hit a home run, like it woke me up. I was excited about it. But I tried to, I was like, I'm trying. She's like, Andrew's like, are you going to sleep? I'm like, no, I'm awake. I'm watching the game. But yeah, it was torment trying to stay awake and watch the Phillies game. Yeah, look at this. I sleep when I'm tired and wake when I wake up when I wake up. That's good, Eric. We have a lot in common, I guess. Beautiful. CG at night, CG all nighter, CG nights. CG nights, I think, has been taken. CG nights with a K. I think that's been taken already. CG After Dark. Well, what about ComicsGate? ComicsGate. With some kind of pun about staying up all night. You know. ComicsGated. I'll think about it. Come up with a good name. Slim Crow says, did the skit take too long? How many retakes? Oh, okay. So let's watch this. We might as well, because this is we'll get to the gay Green Lantern thing. Or no, let's do the Green Lantern thing first. Then we'll watch that and we'll talk about it. DC confirms Green Lantern did not have sex with that woman, J. Edgar Hoover. Few bad actors have taken select panels from the preview of the upcoming Golden Age miniseries Alan Scott, the Green Lantern #1, out in a week and a bit from DC Comics, and have tried to use them to suggest in the comic book that Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, and a gay man living in the 1940s America had a sexual relationship with famed FBI director J. Edgar Hoover. Well, anyone who reads the full preview, which so far only appeared in the back of the reprint of DC's New Golden Age 2 weeks ago, can see that's not the case. Comic book writer Tim Sheridan posted to Twitter, oh my God, I can't believe I even have to post this, but no, Alan Scott does not have sex with J. Edgar Hoover. Oh, he tells him no? That's good. Hoover blackmails GL into working more closely with the JSA. Yes, Hoover's creepy, but so are the a-holes posting misleading BS to keep you from reading. Why would that keep you? Like, that would make me read it. I would have to read this if it were true. And not to spoil anything, but just to be even more clearer, Hoover tries to blackmail GL. Hoover trying to blackmail a prominent figure with compromising intel, unheard of. All right, settle down. You're coping at this point. The answer is he does or he doesn't, you know. I mean, it's already out in the 5-page preview and new GA gay. Why is it new GA? What does GA stand for? Well, oh, Golden Age. Okay. #1 special edition. Just willful misrepresentation from people with an agenda. I don't know. My agenda is just to laugh, honestly, at shitty DC comics. And not all of them are shitty, but, you know, some of them Clearly are. Here's that full preview so that you can see for yourself. What it does do is recontextualize the JSA as government propaganda and J. Edgar Hoover as, well, the person we've all known he was for a very long time. Yeah, gay. By the way, why is like his gayness embarrassing and shameful like to liberals like now in this day and age? Why isn't he a hero for his homosexuality? I don't understand. Maybe I do understand. I'm just being obtuse. Oh God, I love it when they give you like, okay, splash page, a guy reading a newspaper, close-ups of hands reading a newspaper. The letterer is going to do all the work. Ethan, can you draw thumbs holding a newspaper? Yeah, I can, but I'm going to use my own hands as reference, so the thumbs are going to be toed thumbs. And inevitably, they always will be. Somebody got paid full page rate to draw this. It's just wonderful. I love when this happens. I used to send in my voucher with like laughter, with a little emoji of me laughing until I was crying. That'll be $1,000, please. I drew two thumbs holding a piece of paper, and I didn't draw anything on the paper. That'll be $2,000, or no, not $2,000, $1,000, please. Pay up. Please lose my voucher and then pay me whenever I complain about it enough that you can't take it anymore. Here's J. Edgar Hoover. Oh, look, they do look like they're going to get it on, though. Who knew you could get the bulletin in D.C.? In this job, I pretty much get whatever I want. Now, once again, can you tell me what's missing from that photograph? And these? I'll give you a hint. Its initials are J, S, and A. Interesting. Did you really call me back to D.C. to talk about your super squad? The Justice Society of America, of which you're a member, no? Are you now, or have you ever been, a member of the JSNA? I agreed to let you put my name on the masthead, yes, but as your questionably obtained photos show, I work better alone. Is that a fact? This could have been a phone call, Director Hoover. Why am I here? Because I wanted you to know what I know, that you have friends. I told you, I work alone. I'm not talking about the super friends, Mr. Scott. Scott, who's that? Please, we're better at this than you. We have photos, sworn affidavits from some personal acquaintances. Plus, classified file from your Army days. Project Crimson, was it? Full of redactions, but the hospital records completed the portrait. The journal they retrieved was wildly helpful. You can have it back, by the way. I made copies now. You and I are the only ones who have seen this particular file, and I'm willing to keep it that way in return for some butt cooperation. Zip. Zip. The JSA is important to me, Alan, to the whole country. The next time I open the paper and read about some new daring do, the whole team better be smiling back at me. As you can see, I'm a real believer in photographic evidence. Oh my God! I told you I get what I want. Oh, also, we're having a little get-together in Forest Hills this weekend. You'll come. Clyde's his boyfriend. We'll give you the details on your way out. And Alan, bring the combat boots. Oh, if they still fit. How is this not gay? This, of course, of course. He's taking a selfie. Look at, he's got a camera or something here. Taking a picture of themselves in the mirror. They did that back in the 1940s, did they? California, 1936. Okay, one more. But everything's gay at DC now. They told me I should write it all down. They're calling it a journal, but for me, this is more like a record. Give me that camera. Never. You cannot resist me. Well, I do have a weakness to wood. My ring does anyway. Johnny, somebody might hear what? That you're not a natural blonde? Ew, hush. You know what I mean. Relax. We're in a motel in the back of the... Oh, look, he's in him. He's actually in his Oh, he's in his butt right now. Oh, the army's very much out of range. Now kiss me, you fool. Or not. Once again, he's got boots on. You've gone from the mood to in a mood. I'm sorry. It's just that this, Johnny, it's a sin. Why? Because we're not married? I'd marry you right now if they'd let us. You'll have to take my name, though, because Johnny Scott sounds like a brand of toilet cleanser. Oh, my God, dude. Oh! Why is this so many pages? When is it going to stop? Hey, if God himself didn't want me to love you, then how could I? I don't know. I guess like you could make that excuse for nearly anything that anybody does or wants to do. And why would he make me look so good in your ring? That eyesore, once our mission is to go, as soon as we're at sea, first thing I'm chucking overboard. I will have you know, sir, that this is a Southern Conference College Baseball Championship ring. Baseball? So have I successfully talked you off the ledge? Hush. Ew, he's in his butt again. Jeff, did you write this? Written by Jeff Johns. Oh, Jeff. What is going on? Oh, no, he didn't write this. Tim Sheridan did. Oh, phew. Jeff would never write that. I know it. I know he would never write that filth. So there is lots of butt sex in this, but it's not explicitly stated. Like Bleeding Cool's right. It's not explicitly stated that it's with J. Edgar Hoover. So they're right about that. Oh, God. Everything's a nightmare. Make it stop, says Leadar. Why is it like so many fucking pages? Why won't it stop? It's like 7 or 8 pages of gay sex. EVS, your DC wants duck on duck. Did you mean to say duck? This is gonna flop hard, says old man yelling at the clouds. That sounds gay too. Oh my God, this is Jeff Johns' book? Apparently not. Terrible. Did John Malin write this? He could have. The gayness will never end. So just to be clear, it sounded to me, I mean, Rich Johnson is saying one thing here, but it seems to me as though there is an implication. DC confirms Green Lantern does not have sex with J. Edgar Hoover. No, but J. Edgar Hoover was blackmailing him sexually and told him to come to a party and bring his pretty boots. And it seems like J. Edgar Hoover wanted that. Use your ring. Alfred, you're supposed to be above this, Alfred. His ring, which has a weakness to wood. I love it, dude. It doesn't get better than that. The Golden Age Green Lantern's ring didn't work on wood. It had a weakness to wood for some reason. So, I don't know. You could hit him with a baseball bat or your erect penis. Sorry, I know this is terrible. Spike and Madness suggests comics late night. Yeah, that'd be great. That's really good. That won't get dunked on all the time. ComicsGate, Comics Gape. ComicsGate, Comics Late. Says, or ComicsGate Late would be okay. ComicsGate Late Night. Pastor Flash says, why don't you call it Comics Hate? Well, I mean, I don't know. I call it Comics Hate. CG After Dark. Seems like that's been done before, though. People are saying that we need less sodomy in comics. Fewer scenes of sodomy. Isn't that the action you wanted? No, I mean, we definitely need more action in comics. I just didn't mean that kind of action. We definitely need more man-on-man action in comics, but like not that way. I just meant like fighting, I didn't mean man-on-man action like that. They somehow managed to make comics more childish, says Leodara. You don't give that to your children at all. Meet the Peebles. Sodomy. You must think it's very odd of me. Some good stuff. Oh, I wanted to show you something. I want to thank all of you guys who watch the show and then make things. You know, I mean, it's appreciated. A lot of people are inspired by what we do and what we talk about here, and then they go ahead and just make things. You make videos, you make memes. I don't know what we would do without you. You guys are just incredible. So I was on a stream. I don't remember what stream it was. Was it on this channel or was it on someone else's channel? It might have been a closeout somewhere. But we were talking about the Dungeoneers, and I began to sing. It was wonderful. I like composing songs. Now, listen, I am a little bit like John Lennon towards the end of his life, right before he was murdered by a fat lunatic. I wrote a lot of songs. I started to write songs, scraps, pieces, and recordings, little ideas, doodles. And in some cases, in at least two cases, the rest of the Beatles completed those songs posthumously. Maybe you remember Free as a Bird and Real Love. These are really good songs. Something very similar happened here where I started singing a song, and it was completed by Texas Mofo. Here it is.
Who's the leader of the cult that's run by PTP? P-U-N-P-E-O-N-E-E-R-S. Hey there, hi there, ho there, you're as welcome as can be. P-U-N-P-E-O-N-E-E-R-S. Dungeoneers, Dungeoneers. Hallucinogenic mushrooms get you high. Walk around the system with some butt plug in your ear. P-U-N-P-E-O-N-E-E-R-S.
Dungeoneer Club, we'll have fun, we'll meet new faces, we'll do things and we'll go places. All around the clubs we're marching.
Now it's time to say goodbye to our company.
Inside my asshole. Oh, because we like you.
So sorry. And the singing is the creepiest thing. It's like from hell. This blows, Ethan. Don't ruin your good meme. Well, listen, I mean, meh, says Jiminy Cricket. Finatra loves it. Now, Finatra, if you could do a better version of it, I'd appreciate it. I think the lyrics are really, really good. And that's Ethan. I hate it. It's a fucking nightmare from hell. Is Texas Mofo here? If he is, yeah, don't listen to the haters. I thought it was brilliant. The voice sounded demonic. Yeah, it totally did. I think that's what I liked about it. I was like, dude, it's spooky as hell. By the way, we have somebody who I haven't seen here in a while, and I'm happy to see them. Let me see if I can go backwards. Woden Shot got upset about that. Sorry, Woden Shot. Why are you? Doesn't rhyme, you moron. Oh, I know. It has to rhyme with S, of course. Has to rhyme with S. We go back and redo that. Why are you calling me a moron? Where is it? Anyway, I don't see her anymore. Margaret Miracle, welcome back. I haven't seen you in so long. Really nice to have you in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. I believe Ethan can go backwards. Yeah, how to nerf climb walls. That was fabulous, people are saying. All right, other people liked it. Impact Player says, Texas Mofo, yeah, don't listen to the haters, just listen to me. It sucks. Jester 4 says, why are you like this? And Doc Brewski says, yeah, it left out a bunch of queers. I was supposed to go Dungeoneers, bunch of queers, and they left it out. There she is. There's Margaret. Margaret, I hope you're doing well. All right. So today, let's see, a little bit of a scandal on Twitter, I guess. Some people see this as a scandal. I don't know if I do. Oh God, I'm so I'm crying. The corners of my eyes are weeping from that. That was funny. I got a nice. What is this? Hold on 1 second. Why is everything difficult to find? Why can't it just be? Why can't everything I want just pop up easily and cause me no problems at all? Oh, here it is. All right, so so Riley showed up at my warehouse today, unexpectedly. Terrible. But what are you going to do? My warehouse has been doxxed. At least one of them has. The other one, I'm sure, will be doxxed shortly. And a video was made. So here it is. This is Riley. This is the guy who, of course, taped super chat money to Rippaverse's warehouse. And I guess he's going around just doxing the warehouses. So here he is, young Clippa.
What's up, Bunny Battalion? It's me, ASC Riley, the king of the Clippaverse, young Clippa 6'9", and I'm here to totally vandalize Ethan Van Sciver's warehouse with money, with bunny money. Look at that. Look at what we're doing, and there's nobody who can stop us. There's no... Oh, shit.
What are you guys doing?
I didn't think you were going to be here.
How come I only get $2, asshole? You gave the other guy 41.
He said he's going to call the cops. We're going to go. We're going to go. Come on. We're going to go. Get into the car. We're going to go. He's going to call the cops. All right. I pulled up on Ethan Van Sciver, and it didn't go as planned. I might have to stop doing this.
What the fuck? There's my car back there, parked in the handicap parking spot. So there you go. That's terrible. Riley shows up, and I thought about airing him out. I thought about putting holes in him. He was on my property, private property, but I didn't do that. Instead, I just told him go away, and he did. That was it. He was so funny. Like, the guy's like, let me see, I guess wasn't so dangerous after all, says Dan Lawless. It's a really nice kid. I think the internet likes, I don't know what's going on, but there are internet pranksters out there, the likes of Alex Stein. And I guess some people are allowed to do that stuff and other people aren't. I don't know. Like, he's a very small fellow. He's like 5'8" or something like that. I'm 6 foot. So to me, I'm a little taller than he is. And he was just a really enthusiastic fan. He came over and did that. And I just said, come on, let me talk to you. Came inside and we talked about comics and stuff. He was just a nice kid. He's like, I've been a fan of yours since Green Lantern. He brought over a Flash Rebirth. I signed it. So it was all good. Ethan's acting should have won an Oscar, says Frothy Tavern. I wasn't acting. That was serious. He's Cecil's height. Lol, says Christopher Archella. What is this? Riley's funny. He vandalized the Drunken Peasants green screen and hosts with bunny stickers. Now everybody's getting bunny stickers. Ethan's a shit actor. Confirmed. You didn't think my acting was good there? That's pretty much how that's real. That's genuine. That's kind of how I would behave. So you didn't fear for your employee safety? No, I don't. My employees are all young men. They're all like 24 years old, and they're all pretty big guys. So I'm not worried about them. If somebody like Riley did come by and was looking for trouble, these kids are just looking for an excuse. So that's the best thing about being young, man. You're stupid. These kids are just looking for an excuse to fight somebody, and there are 3 of them. So, but no, he was really, really nice, and he was there with mint salad who I gave them baseball caps and everything. They were really cool. It was fun to see them. Did he actually smell bad? Not at all. See, this just, man. You can diffuse trolling if you want to, or you can, you can make it worse, I guess. He didn't smell bad at all. He smelled like a good kid. What are you going to do? He smelled normal. He smelled like a good kid. You're supposed to shot on sight, says Josh 1945. You don't do that. Just be nice to people, I guess. I don't want everybody coming over to my warehouse, but if you do, you do. And if I'm there, I'll say hi. Simple as that. I appreciate my fans. Why would you be looking for me if you weren't enthusiastic about the things that I'm doing? The great comics that I'm making. I got the best review. I am so happy about this. Thank you so much. Like I'm getting like video reviews, but in the olden days of 2004, people used to write reviews. And I found this one here. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. Oh, that's the wrong way. Thank you to Game Tama. I don't know what it is at WordPress.com. He also did a review of Inglorious Rex, which I didn't read, but I will read. This is like the best review ever. I mean, it's just it's full of spoilers, so I don't want to show it, but like, oh my God, like this is just great, like super detailed, thoughtful review. He understood the comic and reviewed it and did a nice written essay about it. And I'm grateful for that. I read this morning and I was telling Andrea, like, it's really nice. It's nice to like get a review and feel like the project was understood. It was like, appreciated in some way. What is this? Any more info on my Northern Ireland, the UK? Well, I don't know, John Platt. They're shipping everything. I don't know when yours in particular is being shipped. When I look at the campaigns and I see where fulfillment is, I see that there are still, I think 1,700 packages that need to go out, and I guess yours is among them, but they are going out. Spawny 051 says no spoilers. Yeah, like I'm not going to go through it because of the spoilers, but I keep saying, I mean, one of the drums that I'm beating here is that people need to read the comics and talk about the comics. And if you are somebody who does reviews, do reviews. Why? Because reviews of our comics should paper the internet. They should be everywhere. They should be all over YouTube. They should be all over, if you search for any one of our comics on Google, reviews should come up for them. Honest reviews. Not we don't want like false praise, but I mean fair, honest, thoughtful reviews should be all over Google. And I think that's like a good way to grow this thing. Cyberfrog may be worth gold in the future, says Bert. Almost certainly. What is this here? What did you think of the 3PO podcast video? I don't know what that is. What is it? Let me see. Matthew Fowler says, I always read the books. Yeah, good. What's the point of buying comics and not reading it? I really feel like a lot of people are buying these culture war books, the books that are happening because of ComicsGate, the Iron Age. A lot of people are buying them just to support them, right? And I don't want to discourage that. I don't want to like say I don't want to question your reason for buying a comic book at all. Really, truthfully, I mean, the reason why we crowdfund is because we need the money to be able to make the comics in the first place. So it's not my business to say, you must read them or you must not read them. But boy, it would be really great if you would read them and review them and put reviews up or your thoughts up on Twitter, on YouTube, anywhere, on whatever this is. I don't know what this, whatever it is, anywhere that it could be discovered via Google.com and a Google search. That would be good. It would be helpful. It would be as helpful. It'd be a nice follow through for supporting the comic financially to get it made. So good stuff. Cyberfrog should be in comic stores or available through your paywall or Amazon EVS. Well, it's available on our eBay store. It isn't on Amazon yet because every time I talk about it putting it on Amazon, Andrea has like a panic attack. We should get an Amazon store. And she's like, like eBay is hard enough. Like fulfilling all the orders every morning through eBay is like a lot of work, and then fulfilling the campaigns too. So if we're selling through Amazon as well, I think she imagines that our sales will double, and they probably would. But that would be a good thing. But she's just like, slow down a little bit, you know. We got to get an Amazon store though. Like where people go, you know, when you go to Amazon and type in Cyberfrog, you know, like you search for Cyberfrog, it's clear that other people have searched for Cyberfrog too. They're looking for action figures. People were looking for Warts and All. People are looking for Wreck Planet, because all those things come up in the search. So, you know, at least people are trying to find that stuff, and they're trying to find them where you would think that they would be. Amazon. They're all on eBay. So maybe we should go to Amazon. Available through my paywall. Coron Zenith says, "Hey, Uncle E, any update on apparel and Frogbooks delivery down under yet? Don't mind waiting, just excited as all. Hail, CG." All the apparel, I think almost all the apparel went out today. I think so. Let me see. That was what that's why I was kind of at the warehouse all by myself today, because we're fulfilling all of the apparel from home. And so I had Mikey and the guys, all like the piano room has all the boxes of different shirts, and all over the dining room table, the hats, you know, are scattered with, like, they're not scattered, they're ordered like, this is CG Ball Cap A, with a little label on it. These guys are doing all that fulfillment. It's driving Andrea nuts. Well, I'm like, I think we can get it done pretty quickly. The problem is it's connected to the John mail-in cover. So I said, if these people ordered a mail-in cover, like mail-in cut comic book, just ship them their clothing anyway, and just make a note of it, you know, that they received their clothing, and then we'll ship the mail-in cut in a separate package, which is, I think, what we're doing. So we sold like 1,100 mail-in cut comics. All right, let me see. This is the fulfillment campaign. It looks like errors here represent 274 errors represents people who got their clothing sent to them, but not their comic book, and then fulfilled is 604. That looks like mostly like hats and shirts. So almost everything should be done. And then over here, placed should be mostly mail-in cut comics that were ordered by themselves. So I think we're almost done, but Mikey's going to go through today. We're going to take one more kind of sweep of this and just make sure that every single shirt and every single hat has gone out in the mail. Why? Because this campaign would be mostly fulfilled at that point. And then we can offer all of the extra apparel that we have, which isn't much. Everything's going to be kind of limited, but we can offer the rest of it up on our eBay store. It'd be nice to actually make some money. Right now, right now, money is going out and no money is coming in. It's like sucks so bad. We're fulfilling 5 campaigns at once. And it's just like, well, a little bit of money's coming in, you know, from people who are still backing our campaigns. But it's like, I am not pushing eBay. I'm not trying to sell anything because we're so busy shipping stuff that was already purchased. So Andrew's like, when are we going to start making money again? I'm like, well, let's fulfill these campaigns and then we can sell, you know, once we finish fulfilling Wreck Planet, all the people who are like, how do I get Wreck Planet? We can say, go to our eBay store and buy Wreck Planet there. We'll ship it to you in 24 hours. And the same thing with the toys, et cetera, et cetera. What's the estimated shipping on the mail-in cut? Pretty soon. I don't have it in hand yet. It has gone to the printer. It is currently being printed. I'm thinking like a week or two. I don't know. I mean, usually it's like a week or two once the printer has it. So it'll be pretty soon. And that same printer is printing the Blood Honey Chromium books and also the Trump covers. Those are being done too. I want to get those Trump covers out to people. So all that stuff is coming at once. My local comic shop just closed down the other day. It was the only one within at least 30 miles of my house. He only sold new books and had card game nights. No back issues at all. Lost another one. Yeah, this is sad. It is happening everywhere. Jeff Dude says, I have beanies arriving soon. Cool, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully you guys are getting your notifications, I think. Maybe you're not getting notifications. I don't know how it's working. Like, I don't know if they're sending out the email with notifications on it, if they also have to send the mail-in book. I'm not sure. John Platt says, thanks, EVS. That's all I wanted to know, so that I have a rough idea as to when I can expect it. I really can't wait to read it. Also back the Cyberfrog Blood Honey Trump mugshot variant, 24-hour, and Cyberfrog Red Extermination box set. Thanks. Oh, thank you for all of that, John. You'll receive your Blood Honey Trump mugshot variant fairly soon, within a month. Pretty sure within a month. That mail-in cut thing is going to be the end. That mail-in cut is going to be the end, says Slacker High. I knew it would happen that way. Storm11RU says, I get shipping notifications from EVS. Yes, mostly you should, but like in this case, I'm not sure how they're choosing to do it, because, the thing about like putting, sending shipping notifications out is that it marks that the whole thing has been fulfilled, and it just checks it off the list. So the next time we go in to fulfill, we know we're done. We did yours already. But I don't know how they're doing it with the people who ordered apparel and the mail-in cut book. I'm not sure how they're doing it up there, if they're sending out fulfillment notifications or what. Are the Death Sting line art variants in yet? Yes, they are. They're right here. Right here. Hold on a second. I'll show you. Don't you worry. All right. I got them. I got a box of them here. Right here. Death Sting line art variants that were only available for Subscribe Star members. These are still glow in the dark, by the way. The parts that were glow in the dark on the on the color version are still glow in the dark here. Let's see here. This feels like a real comic book. It's so great. It feels like a really nice quality comic book from the 1990s. But this is the line art variant that is exclusive. I believe we printed 250 of these, but limited them for sale to 200. They're going to be, I'm going to take a red Sharpie and I will be signing and numbering them. Numbers, 1 to 200. So those will go out pretty soon as well. We actually ran out of backing boards. And these guys, they don't tell me. They're like kids. Mikey goes, by the way, we're out of backing boards and like bags and boards. And I go, you're out of them? And he's like, yes. And I go, you have no more? And he's like, no, we don't have, we used the last one. So you're completely out of bags and boards right now. And you're telling me now? Yeah. Can you order more? I'm like, Mikey, it takes 6 days to get bags and boards in. When I order them from BCW or any other place, it takes a minimum of 6 days for them to come in. Oh. Well, what are we going to do for 6 days? You're going to sweep the floors. You're going to break down boxes. So these guys have been working on toys, helping me with toys, and then also doing the apparel campaign in the meantime. Jeff says, maybe do like inventory. Durr. How many more things do I have to... Listen, somebody help me with something. When you're running low on any product that you need to be able to do fulfillment, when you're running low, just let me know so I can just take care of it. Just say, we're running low on... we've got 2 crates of Gemini mailers left. We could use some more. I'll order them right then. Running low on bubble wrap. I'll order it. Just tell me. Just let me know. Don't make me do inventory. Stop giving me things to do. I'm paying you to do it. I forever love EVS for standing up, even if it costs him some of his audience. You gained a loyal fan here. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, just for once, like, stop making me worry about everything. Bert says we're running low on coffee. Wang So Low says the talent should be drawing all day. I wish that I could. I got to actually help out. I shipped out a bunch of toys. today. It's above their pay grade, says Slim Crow. No, it isn't. They should know. They're in the small warehouse where all the bags and boards are. Let me know 6 days out, at least 6 days. Be like, we got about 6 days worth of bags and boards here. And the thing about it is that when I order bags and boards, I order 20,000 bags and boards. Like, I mean, big pile of bags and boards come in. And I go, that's it. I'll never need bags and boards again. But that isn't true. 20,000 bags and boards is going to get you through about a month of fulfillment, as it turns out. And then you're going to need more. And that's the way it is. Margaret Miracle, Ethan with a clipboard. Yeah, I got to walk around and just make sure we have some of everything. No, like a pallet. Let me see. What does 20,000 bags and boards look like? It's about 10 or so boxes. 10 or so boxes this big. Usually, I make those guys. They dump them off in my driveway. I make the guys come pick them up. Success is hard work. Ethan says Hendon Schneely. It is hard work. Shane is running low on kitty litter, says Veronica Electron. See, that's the thing. Like, if you're running low on kitty litter, if you're running low on like dish detergent, like or laundry detergent, you know it, and you go, "Oh, it looks like I've only got about 2 more loads of laundry worth of soap here. I better go to the store." Let me know. Jeff Stark says, "I've received all my Rec Planet, including the honeycomb box, 2 sets of Wave 1 figures, 2 member hoodies. Oh, you're actually getting your apparel already. Member hat and beanie. I'm going to order Red Frog box soon. Wave 2 figure set is on the way. Thanks." Oh, I did spend a little money today to let you know about this. Today, I spent a little bit of money invested forwards in the Rainbow the Brute action figure. So that's going to come first, because I want Rainbow Brute to be in process, in production, while people are receiving their Rainbow the Brute toys, books, comic books. So that's got to get done now. Like, we got to get started on that. So I invested in the sculpt. So now I have a sculpt already for Rainbow the Brute, but the problem is it's too realistic. Like, it takes my drawing, my little cartoony, stupid, like elf-like or dwarf-like drawing, and he made him look real. Like, he's got big muscles and everything, and he looks realistic. And I don't want that. Because that would set him up to be like a real guy in the Cyberfrog universe, whereas he's a toy come to life. So I thought it would be a little bit more like not completely like this, but more like Toy Story, in that he's a living toy. So I said, just take my drawing, my first drawing that I did. And I said, this is important. The drawing that I did for the live stream way back when, I want that. I want it to look exactly like my drawing, sculpted to be exactly like that. Don't over musculize him. Don't show off. Don't show me, what Rainbow the Brute might look like if he were real. Just make it look like my drawing. And paid for that. So we are, we're going to make a Rainbow the Brute action figure. And I'm trying to think of what the accessories will be. One of the cool things is that the Rainbow the Brute orders all come with severed unicorn heads, pencil toppers, that you can put on the end of your pencil, and they're scented. They smell like strawberry. It's like the strawberry shortcake toys from the 80s. I'm going to make it so that those things also fit on his sword, so that you could use them as pencil toppers, or they will also double as accessories for your Rainbow the Brute action figure. Night Phoenix Press says, "Hey Ethan, I need $1,000 more for my Zombie Girl Ravenous remastered Kickstarter campaign. Are there any old school bad girl comic lovers in CG? If so, I got what they need." Well, thank you for $10. Jared Barnes says, "What's the ETA on Rainbow? I want to get it, but it's been up for a long time." The book's going to be finished by December, Christmas, I'm saying. That's the deadline I'm giving myself. And then I got to put it into production. So I'm not sure. It'll be done probably, we'll be shipping probably in the summertime of 2024. That's the plan. It takes a little while to put everything together. It's going to be really, really nice. You think you should have a cloth kilt, the action figure? Let me see. Yeah, toy kilts. What? So everybody could wear a kilt. Let me see. Hey, cool. Did you get the scented unicorns from the place that sells chicken scented stuff? I don't know. I did see that, but I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't know who it is that makes those. You should make a miniature accessory version of Rainbow the Brute for Cyberfrog to hold. Well, that's an idea too. Like a little toy version of we could do all this stuff. It's just fun. But I want to get the Rainbow the Brute figure done. Maybe a secondary figure, but I want to see what happens if I make just one single action figure rather than 4. I need to raise about $250,000 to do it, I would estimate. So I'm going to get the sculpt done. I'm going to invest in that, and then I'm going to try to raise the $250,000 to make the action figures. I don't know if I can do it with just one. I guess I'll have to do variants. Maybe an accessory pack. Can't do another figure because then I got to raise $500,000. That doesn't make sense. So we'll just see how it is. I'm gonna, I know like right now the economy is down. I really don't want to do anything right now. I talked about this yesterday on my stream where, people are like, well, look, ISOM number 2 raised half of what number 1 raised. Cyberfrog 3 raised half of what Cyberfrog number 2 raised. And I was like, yes, it's happening all across the board in crowdfunding. No matter what you do, it's not a matter of, well, this one was on time and this one wasn't. It doesn't seem to be that way. It seems to be a matter of the economy right now. So I'm a little bit sketchy about trying to do too much right now. I've scheduled launching Salamandroid for for when Biden might be out of office. I'm in my head, I'm thinking January of 2025 is when we launch Salamandroid, because if a Republican wins, I'm expecting people to get instantly more optimistic with their money. And then maybe we can make that big giant toy. And if not, we'll try it anyway, but I don't feel as confident about it. I should just be confident. Be cool if you had a bottle of Rainbow the Brute cologne. Rainbow the Brute, BRUT. Every time I go shopping, I feel like I've been mugged, says Splatbag. Yeah, I know. Everything is expensive. Everything is crazy. Less people have disposable income since interest rates have skyrocketed. Yeah. Completely understand. So it is what it is. And, I feel like now would be a time, because we don't want to stop making things. We can't just take a year off of making stuff. Our business would suffer. So, Andrew's like, well, what are we going to do? I'm like, I think the Rainbow the Brute action figure is the thing to do, because I think it's a reasonable goal. It's a small goal. I think people will want it. I think we should make it. It needs to be made. And it'll kind of flex our muscles outside of, should be a more simple toy, outside of Cyberfrog. Should reach a whole different audience as well. I wonder if Rainbow the Brute would be the kind of toy that we could sell to, what's that shop called in the mall? They do have action figures there, but it's mostly like fake punk rock clothes for poser kids. I shouldn't be so demeaning. Oh my God. Color variants on Rainbow the Brute. Yeah, I got to do that. Napalm figure down the road. Yeah, I would want to do the My Girthy Stallion toys to be like the My Little Pony toys. If you ever played with a My Little Pony in the 80s, I had sisters, so I had all this stuff in the house. They were squishy plastic. They were soft PVC, I think. Pretty sure they were PVC. They were PVC because they were flexible. I'm learning about all the different kinds of plastic that they use. I'll double check on that. Legos are a certain kind of plastic, and then all of the action figures that are made that are more soft and bendable, that's PVC. So I'm pretty sure anyway, I would want to do the My Girthy Stallions like that, so that they'd be big muscular horses, but you could squeeze them and they were full of air, and there'd be a little hole for that. You could squeeze them. Soft plastic. So I want to do that, but we'll see. do all of them. Can you imagine if we could do all of them? All of the stallions. It would look sweet with my napalm card you drew on a stream. You drew a while back. Yeah, it's true. You'd have this original art. Hot Topic. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Like a Rainbow the Brute toy might be nice in Hot Topic. I'll bet people would. Spencer's too. I'll bet some people would sell it or buy it there. Because it's funny on its own. Like, you don't even have to know about the comic book. EVS was a brony. I never was. I never was a brony. But I did watch the Friendship is Magic cartoon. The movie with Ava. And she liked it. Vinyl toys, says Chad Townsend. Chad, how you feeling right now about your Astros? You think they're going to go? You think they're going to face my Phillies? Didn't Hot Topic go bankrupt? If it did, it was recently, because I saw Hot Topic recently, right? I was at the mall at least a month ago. I saw Hot Topic. DJ Close says, I want Cyberfrog foes. Yeah, yes. I want to do Rumblebee. I think we can sell Rumblebee. Some people are saying Tromedeus as well, but it's like, I don't know if people would buy Tromedeus. He's silly. Veronica Electron says you should purchase a 3D printer and manufacture the action figures yourself. You know how long that would take to print all those out? Like, listen, we sell thousands of action figures. We do really well. We couldn't print them out ourselves. Emo kids are running out of money, says Andy Go-Go Comics, and that's probably why they're closed down. Yeah. Make metal toys that can also be weapons. Subtle cultural signal, says Shanti Thackeray. Malls are dying right now. Yeah, again, everything is... my prediction is going to come true. I mean, it's not even the comic book industry is dying, and that's why comic shops are closing down. It truly is. I mean, if you think about it, like I'm thinking of somebody who's a little overweight myself. Businesses that are going to thrive are businesses that make it so that I don't have to get in my car and go somewhere. It's a really weird thing, but it is true. Like, I used to enjoy going to the mall. If I needed a new pair of shoes, I'd be like, I'm going to go to the mall. And while I was there, I would just kind of shop around, see if maybe I wanted a jacket too. Maybe there's a comic book store. Stop in there, pick up some stuff. Or, I would go to the comic book store. Let me just browse comic books. Anything that is going to allow people to stay home. And by the way, COVID exacerbated this and sped it up quite a bit. Anything that allows people to stay home and not have to do anything is going to succeed. And brick and mortar shops, including malls, and of course comic shops, they're all going down. I hate to say it, there isn't going to be the same clientele. Why should there be? I can wait a couple days. I order the new Transformers comic. I want one of those. I'll just order it from eBay. I don't need it right this second. I can wait 2 days for it, as long as I don't have to go anywhere to get it. It'll be delivered to my mailbox. Lego uses, this is right. Lego uses different plastics for various parts, but the standard brick is ABS plastic. It's hard. It's, unyielding. And by the way, it's non-toxic as well. Whereas polyvinyl can be toxic if you ingest it. So a lot of these toys, like Paw Patrol toys, are made with ABS, I noticed. Toys commonly use a rigid polystyrene, but PVC is also common. Yeah. But I really think there's a lot of prejudice against PVC lately. So a lot of these toy companies that are making toys for little kids are using ABS now. I noticed that, because Ava's got the Paw Patrols. I'm like, whoa, this plastic is really rigid here. In the old days, it would have been kind of like some kind of polyvinyl. So, I would just wait. I mean, all these stores are going to go down. The malls are going to go down. It's all going to change. Everything is going to be mail order and the internet, which sets us up great. I mean, honestly, it doesn't hurt us. Tromedeus with an interchangeable EVS head. Put me on there. Jordan Horst says I can 3D print ABS too. Yeah. I don't know. Hey, remember Batman Gate? A Vespis lead paint variant. The Vespis is already dangerous for kids. Don't give the Vespis to your kids. We didn't even bother trying to make that safe. Margaret Miracle says we're supposed to hate plastic now. I know, like I got a whole crew of weirdo SJWs trying to convince people that I'm making toys that kill kids, and it's like, they don't. It's like it's PVC. Every single action figure is made of PVC. In the old days, they used to just call these little miniature unbendable action figures, these statues that are made of this plastic. They still do call them this, I think. They make them in Japan a lot, just PVCs. The Smurfs, I got the idea from like the Smurfs. They used to make these Smurf toys back in the early 80s. And they would be like, a poorly painted soft plastic Smurf doing something, holding a flower, or I don't know, holding a present, whatever. And you would collect these Smurfs and put them all over your house. It was kind of a weird thing. This was before the cartoon happened. I was like, oh, I like that. So PVCs. I think I'm going to make a Cyberfrog PVC, something a little miniature, a little plastic. By the way, it turned out much bigger and better, I think, than I previously imagined that it was going to be. Anyway, they are toxic if you ingest them. If you chew them up, swallow them, I guess, and you do it every single day for like 2 months, you might have to go to the hospital. So don't do that, and also just don't even give them to your kids. They used to make children's chew toys out of PVC, and they had to stop doing that. But anyway, there was a whole conspiracy brought up by some anti-ComicsGaters, anti-Rippaverse types, who were saying Ethan's making toys that kill kids because they're PVC, and everybody had to demonstrate to them that literally every action figure on the market uses PVC, every single one. If you've ever bought an action figure from Hasbro, you've bought PVC. Also, your plumbing that the water goes through is PVC. Bar Stewart says, eat toy. Got it. Yeah, please do not do that. Yeah, Vicky and Nerdette's newsstand. It was hilarious. I loved it. It was the funniest thing. Ethan's making toys that kill kids. And I had people saying to me, any response to the accusation that you're killing kids? I was like, I only did that twice, and I thought I got away with it. Oh, you mean my toys? Oh, shit. Micah Jones, if you rub mayonnaise, it turns into poison. Yeah. I love it. It's very funny. Everybody's nuts. Anyway, Batman Gate. I'm going to read this real quick and see what the deal is about it. I kind of avoided Batman Gate because I wasn't sure like the reality of it. But apparently it's actually a thing now. Penciler Chris Waz's lawsuit against Warner Brothers in DC over the Batman, going to trial. You're kidding me. DC reacted to this like they do. Chris said, listen, the Batman movie really borrowed a lot, in my opinion, from my notes of a pitch that I made to the producer, the guy who ended up being the producer of this movie for a Batman story. Seems like beat for beat he borrowed it. Now, I looked over it real quick and I said, I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but I don't know. I mean, as my opinion was that it was a little bit of a soft case. But whatever, DC Comics reacted to this like by shrieking, just like, we'll kill you. I mean, in general, threatening to destroy someone's whole world for making a false accusation, like something that isn't even close to being true, like somebody who's like a crackpot or something like that. Not really a sane reaction from a big corporation. So when I saw that, I was like, what is going on here? Like, you've got people saying weird shit all the time, like, again, just to use a small example here, Ethan's toys kill kids. The correct response to that is to either ignore it or laugh about it, because it's, like, not true. But if I were like, "Oh, fucking destroy your world, I'll own you in court," it just seems like there's something to it. If I said that, you would be like, well, maybe they are killing kids. Like, maybe that's Ethan's entire goal. And you wouldn't be wrong to think that, because, again, like, you know what? Innocence doesn't shriek. For the most part, innocence just kind of goes, no, that's not true. Guilt is what shrieks. So it was pretty weird. And this is bizarre. Penciler and aggrieved Batman writer Chris Wozniak is going to trial with this lawsuit against Warner Brothers. He announced this on X not too long ago. The creator believes he has a tenable chance of victory. Good luck, man. You can't fight these big organizations. You cannot fight a corporation like this when you don't have a lot of money. It's incredible. He wrote in a series of posts that he's tired of the threats from their lawyers and that they have no legs in this case. Oh, boy. Let me see. Warner Brothers and DC Comics attorneys are embarrassingly still making the same threats they started out with. I thought I was clear at the start. I'm here for the long haul. We're going to trial, he says. It's crazy. He, of course, worked at DC Comics when he penned the treatment he pointedly claims was ripped off by the studio. It went unpublished, but was emailed to Batman movie producer Michael Uslan in 2008, according to Wozniak, as an idea for a film. Wow. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but if it's true, it's interesting. The essence of Wozniak's grievance is that Uslan or some party took the treatment to Matt Reeves for rewrites. Wozniak has gone to great lengths to prove this through YouTube videos and social media since last year. He has made a strong case in the minds of his supporters and comic book veterans like Chuck Dixon. They believe Wozniak not only has a case, but that he will be helped by Warner's current crises. They don't have the leverage they think they have, wrote an ex-user who linked to a Deadline article about production woes amidst SAG and WGA strikes. Wozniak replied in the agreement declaring, they really don't. We don't get the arrogance, but whatever. Learn your lessons the hard way. He hopes to teach them that lesson and get his restitution at the same time. Batman Gate. I offered to let them off easy more than once, but they want to be taught a lesson. No problem. I'm happy to whip that ass. He reiterated in another reply. I like it when old people talk like kids. Whip that ass. I'm happy to not whip their asses. I'm happy to whip that ass, which is almost sexual. Good for you. Go get your money. Wozniak posted last year on Facebook that he can indisputably prove that my story is on screen. Moreover, the fact that Warner is trying to copyright his story instead of denying the claims speaks volumes. There would be no point in Warner Brothers DC wanting to own my story if it was never used to make the Batman, he pointed out at the time. Yeah, that is a very weird thing. They just said, listen, we own the copyright to all pitches that get sent to us. Now, wait a second. Then what the hell do you pay anyone for? You know what I mean? Someone sends you an idea, it's automatically yours. Then why are you paying anyone? Job of the Ender of Stream says, Ethan, when will you stop killing kids? I'll start right now. I'll try my best to stop. Yeah. Look, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this has any merit at all, but I'm just saying that their reaction is interesting. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying their reaction to this doesn't make sense to sit there and say, we own all pitches. I don't think you do, dude. I think I could come up with an idea for Superman and I could talk about it or I could offer it to them. And, I don't know. I don't think they own it. So I'm not sure, but seems like an interesting amount of confidence behind this. Deresitron says, what would it take for you to distribute to Aussie comic stores like Kaboom Comics Australia? Would love to be able to support you and my local shop. You know what? Like, it wouldn't take much. I guess what they would have to do is contact me and say, we'd like to carry some Cyberfrog comics in our store. And what I would do for that is I would give them a deal, like a really good deal if they bought 10 copies of Wreck Planet or something like that. They'd have to buy in bulk. I would cut them a nice deal, and they would have to cover shipping, which would be expensive. Like, that's the only problem. So it'd make more sense to buy more like 20, 30 copies. And then I would ship them. Maybe they could pay half price or something like that. And that'd be nice. Just to have them there in the store for people. That would be the deal. Yeah, I'm not stopping anybody. Any retailer who wants to contact me because they want to stock Cyberfrog in their stores, that's stock, not stalk. The difference there. I'm already being stalked, of course. Then I'd be happy to make an arrangement like that. It just makes sense. That's like me saying I own the rights to your pain, says a Man of Action. Derezaton says, yes, international shipping is a killer. Thanks for the info. I will pass it on to him. Yeah, as long as he purchases enough to make it worth our while, like I'm not going to ship 5 copies at a discount, but if it's more like 20, then yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, don't stalk like CECIL. Maddie Dub says Australian stores all use distributors and only stock what they can get from them. Yeah, I know. I mean, we're our own store and we're our own publisher, obviously, and like we're not in any distribution catalog, not yet. I want to be, but it's just not high on my list of priorities right now because there really isn't any money in it for us. Like everything that I do right now, I have to keep an eye towards, we have to make as much profit as we possibly can. We have to make things and sell things at a point where we're doing okay. Businesses go out of business all the time. It isn't easy to run a business. If you're spending more than you're taking in all the time, you're kind of fucked. Cars in Depth says most publishers and studios reject all unsolicited submissions just to avoid lawsuit. Was this a solicited pitch? You got me. I don't know. I'm baffled by this whole thing. It seems unreal. I don't know, Chris, but he showed up like within ComicsGate. And to be fair, like we do get some wing nuts around here. So I don't know who to trust, but with this story, that to me, it didn't sound like real. It sounded like a lot of people complain. Oh, I've had my thing swiped for me. They took this from me, and oftentimes there's an explanation for it. It's not real. It wasn't until DC responded to him, Warner Brothers responded to him, that I started to kind of go, wait a second, this is weird. Yeah. This is odd. Like, why react like this to him? Like he should just be like kind of a fly in your ointment. He should be like a gnat buzzing around you. Who cares? A little mosquito. But no, they acted nuts. Jack Stafford says, I've also heard don't send pitches, and also if you send a pitch, we own it, small print. I don't know. Maybe that's true. But that seems like weird because don't they have to pay people? I don't know. Travis Park says, I've already talked to Shane about it. Have you thought about putting Cyberfrog into the European market? Yeah, of course. I want to put Cyberfrog everywhere. But the thing about it is that it's not a normal comic book. I'm trying to make what I would consider to be a masterpiece. Don't make fun of me about that. Like I'm not saying it is a like Mouse or anything like that, but it is my masterpiece. Like it's the best thing that I've ever done, right? Like the ultimate book that I am capable of producing. So it's my masterpiece. It's going to take a little while to do. And once it's done, like when all 4 books are done, I plan on making a nice compiled version, maybe even like an oversized hardcover, and distributing that through Barnes & Noble and through other distribution channels. So there's a complete story. The problem is right now people are seeing it as, a comic book series, and they're just like, wait a second, it has like a, like an ending, a cliffhanger ending, and I gotta wait to read it. I'd rather read comic books that are coming out. I got it. I completely understand. I'm trying to make this big story, and I'm giving it to you in installments because I have to pay for it. It's like it's not cheap to make a comic book. It's all of your time. It's your entire life. And when you're working at DC, like, or Marvel, you're getting a page rate. And so, you can afford to sit there and draw this stuff because all your other bills and needs are met. When you're independent, crowdfunding is great. We get a nice, we get pre-orders through backers in order to collect a large amount of money to be able to print the book, ship the book, and all the product associated with it, but also draw a little paycheck. So, I can actually afford to sit there and make the book. I can pay myself to make it as I go. Well, this is all important. It's all part of owning an S Corps as well. So, anyway, that's the plan. And once I get the entire book completed, then I will have, it's all about making the content. Then I will put it everywhere. There are a bunch of different things I want to do. I want to make an oversized book, and then I want to break down the whole story into 20-page chapters that can be $5 each and can look like, cheap cat spanker comics, and put those comics like in comic book stores, if comic book stores are still around by then. But use Diamond Distribution, maybe Penguin, whatever, to distribute the comics into comic book stores. So, normal people who don't use crowdfunding, who don't know ComicsGate, can finally read Cyberfrog. And at that point, it's Cyberfrog already has kind of an infamous, reputation. So, because people are like, Cyberfrog, that's that ComicsGate guy. So people already know it. And I think some curiosity is going to get some sales, because you can't buy press like that. You really can't buy promotion like that. And it's either extremely harmful or it'll make people curious enough to pick it up, right? So I don't know which that is. I would think if I solicited Cyberfrog into through Diamond right now, I'd probably be able to sell 3,000-4,000 copies of it, which is nothing to sneeze at. It's still not that many, Liam Sharp tried to do an indie comic through like Image, and he only sold 8,000 copies, and he was like ready to cut his wrists. Like, he was just like, this is fucking a disaster, like this comic, and only sold 8,000 copies. Like, 8,000 copies, that's good. Well, it is good until you recognize that, he's charging like $7 for it or something. Then it's not so good. And then everybody gets their cut of that. To me, like, I've already been paid for it. So, if I sold 3,000 copies of 20 pages of Cyberfrog at $5 each, my cut of that is just gravy. I don't care. It's fine. Ethan Skyver is ComicsGate guy, coming soon to your local comic shop, says Apex Comics. Cyberfrog does have a rep in the hood. Appreciate that. Let me see. I don't know. Maybe I'm done. I don't really have a lot to say. I just wanted to do a video to say hello to you guys. A very, very busy day today. And all that. And we had the event with Riley at the warehouse. Turns out Riley's a really kind of nice guy. He poses in mugs and all that stuff, but like, I was talking to him. He's just like, I've been a fan of yours since I was like 15. Like, I bought all your comics. I like your stuff. He's like, my friend, he said, would you please sign my Flash Rebirth trade and everything? He's just a comic book fan. I can't be mad at these guys, man. He's just a prankster. He watches the internet, fooling around. And when the facade is down and you're just talking to him, he's like, so like, here's what I want to know. Like, when you were doing Green Lantern, it's like, he's a normal comic book fan, it's like, and I mean, the thing about it is that comic book fans, I know from experience, like, just sort of, there are times when a comic book fan will be such a fan of yours, but he's upset about you. He's upset at you about one thing that you maybe said or did. And you can either make that right or you can make that worse. And you could turn somebody who has been a lifelong fan of yours into a huge hater. I mean, like somebody who feels betrayed by you, what's called a remorseful orbiter. Oh my God, there's nothing worse than that. And I've done that a few times, and it's terrible. It never goes away. Like sitting there, it's like I've been a fan of, say, Brian Wilson forever. I've been a fan of like Depeche Mode forever. And I got to say, like, Depeche Mode put out an album when Trump was elected that was just political, left-wing political MSNBC shit. And it made me not able to listen to Depeche Mode for a long time. It was awful. I was just like, I really was not expecting this. And I understand that. It's like, oh my God, like I'm a fan who's been betrayed. I completely get it. Like I completely understand that. But yeah, you can go either way. I mean, honestly, you can just talk to somebody and give them the equivalent of a hug when they're mad at you, and it makes everything okay, man. I love all my fans. Anybody who's been following me, some of these, like he's a kid, he's like 24 or something like that. He's a little kid to me. He's Hunter's age. He looks like, in his videos, he looks like this great big barbarian, but he's short. He's a small kind of guy who is, he looks like somebody I would have hung out with when I was like a teenager, He would have been one of my friends. And, all of these guys who love my comics, I love them too. Whether you're supporting Cyberfrog, or any all caps comics or ComicsGate thing, or whether you've just been following me since my DC days, even if it's like, I disagree with what you're saying now. I don't like your politics, but listen, I love you too. That's all it is. Simple as that. Fox Mulder says, I wanted to say thanks to you and Andrea for responding to my email about the Cyberfrog figure I received. Prompt and professional. Oh, good. That's good. Glad they took care of that. See, somebody's taking care of something without me having to know about it. 24 going on 49, says Vertical Horizons. I don't know what you mean by that, but let me see here. Depeche Mode's TDS album was cringe beyond measure. Dude, it was awful. It's the only Depeche Mode album I've only played through once. I listened to it. I said, this is so fucking awful and retarded. Like, even if Depeche Mode wanted to make a political album and wanted to make left-wing political statements, I mean, they've done it before. Like, Everything Counts is, hey, corporate greed. You know what I mean? It's like, that's leftist, but so what? I dig that. But yeah, the Trump Derangement album was, I can't remember, it was called Spirit or something like that. I mean, I threw it right in the garbage. And by the way, I had tickets to go see them in the second row in New York City, and I just didn't even go. I sold them. I sold my tickets and didn't go see them. It's the one time I didn't go see Depeche Mode. EVS, you don't need to listen to gay music like Depeche Mode. I like it. I like Depeche Mode. You know who else liked Depeche Mode? Richard Spencer, leader of the alt-right. And Depeche Mode actually came out and condemned him. How do you deal with something like that? So Richard Spencer goes, Depeche Mode is the music of the alt-right. Okay. How do you deal with that as Depeche Mode? I think you just don't say anything, but they felt prompted to come out and say, fuck Nazis. It's like, all right. You don't need to do that, But they did. It's kind of like an awkward situation where it's like, do we love all of our fans? Or are we grateful to all? No, fuck some of you. I don't know, man. This is so weird. Depeche Mode should just retire already. Enough is enough. Urash Matar says, Richard Spencer was always a big tool. Yeah, he was. And I think he was a Fed. Because he kind of switched on a dime. I think Richard Spencer may have existed just to represent the dangers of Donald Trump. Because, like, this guy, he had you remember this? Like, he was doing Hitler salutes and saying Hail Trump to an audience of kids screaming. I mean, is that real? Is that something that really happened? Or was that like something to say, look, the Nazis are rising up because of Trump? Just seems a little weird. And with today's hindsight, Andrew Rowland says, on the topic on the you versus Eric July topic, oh boy. I think everyone needs to chill out, leave each other alone, and work on your stuff for a while. This infighting is only distracting us from making culture. To be clear, there is no me versus Eric July thing. I know Eric July says this all the time. I'm not fighting him. I just, wanted a divorce from the idea that I needed to stand by him. Does that make sense? Because I don't agree with everything he's doing. It doesn't mean I'm fighting him, but there seemed to be this obligation that I needed to be on his side about everything, and I'm not on his side about everything. I disagree with him about a lot of things. So I don't want this thing like, what if I come out now? Every time I come out and disagree with him about something, people are going to say, "What is it? You're just jealous." I don't want to. Let me just make a statement and say, I don't stand with Eric July completely about 100% of things, and I don't feel like I should be obligated to. We disagree about a lot of things. When I do disagree with him, it's not a personal betrayal all the time. We're not friends. I've never met him before. I did a little work for him. I don't feel like I owe him anything. He doesn't owe me anything. And that's all it is, I wish him well, but I mean, I don't want to have to be like, oh shit, if I say this, is it going to upset Eric July? He's a big fish in our pond. And so, I don't want to think about that. I want to be able to speak my mind without having to worry about who I'm betraying all the time or who it appears I'm betraying. So, to me, it's like there will not be endless talk about Eric July unless Eric July says something that I disagree with. And then I will make a video about it, possibly the same way I do about anybody else. And I won't worry about clubs and, who's in what clique and who is going to be upset and who I'm personally betraying. I am an island. I've told you this a million times. There are no bridges to me. I am a battleship. There are no bridges to be burned. Nobody is coming to me or leaving from me, and I'm not going anywhere except my own direction. ComicsGate is on a train. It is a train moving forward. So that's how it is. I hope that's clear. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. Let me see. We just got to make the pond bigger, says Geeks. Yeah, 100%. But I mean, here's the thing. Like, I have my own views. I have my own ideas about what comics should be. I am a leader, not a follower. I can't sit there. Like, if John Malin says something dumb, which he never would do, but if he does, I'm going to disagree with John. And I know he's actually my friend. And so we can talk about it. It's not like a big deal. Whereas other people, it's just not the same situation. And I don't want to feel like I need to be defending people who, I personally don't agree with, when the wider world is also kind of like, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. Ethan Island, says Ben Tillotson. I'd say you're a continent. It's a boat. It's a battleship. It is a boat. We move forward. We destroy our enemies, of course, but we move forward. We're not heading towards anyone else's destination except forward. Okay, towards the destination. What is the destination? Freedom, or actually, freedom is the fuel, I guess, to be able to just say what you want to say and do what you want to do, and not owe anyone anything. One of the worst things about working at DC Comics was the idea that you had to stifle your commentary about things. Well, at least I did. The left-wingers over there, for some reason, they didn't have to. They could say whatever crazy, hateful shit they wanted to. But when I wanted to say crazy, hateful shit, it's the end of the world. Mark Waid said one bright thing to me, one thing that I think about all the time, and I've said this before. Mark Waid said, there is no price. He said, you couldn't buy my silence at any price. Like, I want to be able to speak my mind, and that is invaluable to me. And I said, yeah, I feel the same way. So obstacles that make it so that I can't say what I want to say, they got to go. You won't see them no more. They got to go. And that's how it is. You can't row a train, Ethan, says Crusader Joe. Yeah. Well, I know, but I always say that the train is going. Actually, Andrea says this. When there's somebody who is like leaving ComicsGate, like Andrea goes, listen, hop on, hop off. ComicsGate train moves forward. I don't care like who's on the train, who isn't on the train is moving in one direction. It's moving forward. You can get off here if you want to, and we'll leave you behind. We're just moving forward. I thought that was pretty cool. I like when Andrea talks about ComicsGate. AOK says, EVS, get in the Kiwi Farms thread and defend yourself. Oh, I looked at it today. Yeah, they're saying they're going to make a lolcow thread about me. Guys, I guess do it. More attention. I want a lolcow thread about me. Don't blame me. Ship flag has risen, says Slim Crow. I used to go on the Kiwi Farms thread, but really the Kiwi Farms thread is just people like Big Daddy. And it used to be a really smart, the ComicsGate thread used to be really smart. It was full of people who were giving advice for how to fight the culture war. But you see, the idea of fighting the culture war in comics has kind of like jumped the shark. So now what's on Kiwi Farms, and this is why I don't go there anymore, is not valuable to me. It used to kind of be. There would be people saying things like, well, this is what I think. Here's my assessment of this piece of comic book industry news as it relates or pertains to ComicsGate. That was important. That doesn't exist anymore. It's just dirtbags saying, fuck Ethan Van Sciver or, whatever it is, making up stories and stuff. I don't want to be there. I mean, I guess I could go there and mess with those people, but it doesn't seem like a good use of my time. Sorry, Kiwi Farms. Whoever's still there. Mr. Dongs is still there. He's doing great stuff. His commentary is good. But, I mean, what is his commentary now? It's just to review and kind of talk about what these live streams are. I haven't really heard Mr. Dongs talk about, what's going on in comics because just nobody cares. Nobody cares what's going on in comics right now. So, it's just, I don't know what to do about that, except just keep making comics and videos, keep trying to make toys, comics, and videos. Don't they call you Frog? That is my screen name. My screen name over there is Frog. I have not logged in there since the Keffels thing because it became hard to find. Now Kiwi Farms is temporarily stabilized from what I understand, and you can go there pretty easily, I think, right now at this moment, but it keeps getting kicked off of their servers or whatever. And I don't know. I've moved on. I use OnaFan forums. I go read that stuff all the time now because it's all Patrick S. Tomlinson. I love it. It's fantastic. Zack is the only one who cares about mainstream comics. Is that true? Does he still care? Let me see what Zack is saying right now. I was going to sign off, but now I'm interested. I haven't looked at your boy Zack in a while. Comics Matter with your boy Zack on YouTube. Let's see what his new videos are like. All right, let me see here. Ghost Machine. Oh, what is he? Hold on, I got to see him bust on Ghost Machine.
I'm
What?
starting to inform you. I've been waiting for 6 weeks for my own a couple of necklaces. Where are they? What? I have no idea. What time does the post office close? Just apply to grad school.
All right, the video is called Ghost of a Chance. Saggy middle-aged men awkwardly posing at a WeWork is not how you sell comics. Oh, dear.
Hi, everyone. It's your boy, Zack. And when in doubt, just start a new comic book company. You will at least, even if you don't get a Netflix deal, you will at least get an article in the New York Times. But before I start, First Kill graphic novel, link is in the description. I just talked to the fulfillment service, the domestic backers who ordered A New Kind of War. You should start getting it any day now. So at New York Comic Con, they announced a new company or a new imprint or 4 new superheroes. I don't know. This is the most schizophrenic press release I have ever seen. So New York Comic Con, Johns, Meltzer, and more form new creator-owned company. But it also might be an imprint, and it's I don't know what this is. So
Well, I think it's like a production company where they're going to use Image to make the comic books, but really it's exactly what Zack hates. It's a bunch of people making pitches for Netflix or movies or whatever. Probably not Netflix, but like movies and TV shows and places where Jeff Johns has inroads. He's already got connections there. The only difference between this and what Zack hates is that it's actually going to be good, right? Because the talent is good. So, you know, the ideas seem okay.
If it sounds familiar and it looks familiar, it's because basically every year, please look at the screen, the same story comes out.
That's true.
A couple of people you've heard of, combined with some people you haven't. I like how these... I thought this was Grant Morrison when I saw it on my phone. It's like, oh, okay. Grant Morrison, cool. It's like, that's not. That's Grant Morrison ordered off of wish.com. And then they have a random lesbian nobody's heard of. Only one of these people...
I love the word lesbian.
I recognized just straight off the bat. So Ghost Machine is Brian Hitch, Jason Fabok, Peter J. Tomasi, Francis Manapool, Gary Frank. Oh, that's the guy who I thought was Grant Morrison. Maytal Juk, Lamont McGee. For those wondering about the awkward pause after the last two names,
we don't know.
That was me
They're from
just kind of
TV.
waving my hands in the air like, who the fuck are these people? And then Brad Meltzer and Jeff Johns.
Okay, A-list talent. A-list.
Are they all written by the same guy? George Jean Justines. Sounds like the name of like a Muppet, but apparently a real person. So
that is true, though.
I think there's a couple of cliches. They don't actually. This one is kind of old, but people used to say, "Oh, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm going to go back to grad school," or "I'm going to start a band." And it seems like this has been the thing in comics for the last few years. I believe this is also called a media operation. New creator-owned and operated media company, Ghost Machine, launching in 2024. Comic printing partnership. So it's many things to many people. But I just think it's funny that every time a bunch of people are like, what would be groundbreaking? What would solve everything? Great new character, great new series, bring back an old beloved character. It's like, no, you know what we really need to do?
What?
We need to have a bunch of awkward middle-aged white dudes just posing at a WeWork or something like this. This is not really showing off. You have a lot of seed capital when you're just awkwardly posing in front of a window. Or this one's like, this looks like it's at a restaurant. Distillery, TKO, AWA, and now Ghost Machine. I think they've got a ghost of a chance of having any success at something that has been tried.
Zach, you are like bitter and spicy in this video. Like really like, not spicy, salty. These guys are the biggest creators and like all those other examples that you pointed out were shit. They were like kind of like C-listers trying to make a comic book company, but like this is all of the biggest talent that's left over from DC Comics, like just scraped away and trying to do their own thing with Jeff Johns, who does have media connections, big ones in Hollywood. This seems like it has a little more than a ghost of a chance, pal. Seems like people who are involved in this are going to have nice looking comics that read well, and they're going to get media deals. That's pretty good.
Multiple times. Let's just drill down into one of these articles. I mean, it's good art. It's Gary Frank.
Yes.
So an all-star collection of comic book talent, brand new creator-owned comic book company, Ghost Machine, which will release its comic books through Image Comics. Okay, so names them all. Okay, so it's the company, but it's also a comic. Is it In Ghost Machine #1, we will discover 4
Zach, take a break.
4 distinct shared universes. Wouldn't that be one shared? What?
No.
What the fuck? 4 distinct shared universes.
All right, so that would mean that there are 4 individual universes that will have other books attached to each of them. 4 distinctive shared universes. So in other words, there's the Rainbow the Brute universe, which is distinct, and maybe something like My Girthy Stallion is in that universe. There's the Cyberfrog universe, which is distinctive and does not exist within the Rainbow the Brute universe, wherein Lynx exists. There could be the Fearsome universe. There isn't, but there could be. Wherein maybe there's another book attached to that. It's not that hard to figure out, dude.
So 4 different universes that aren't... I don't know what the fuck to do. Okay, let's see if I get more or less confused. Okay, so it's a bunch of random comics that don't really seem...
They seem great. Zach.
These don't seem to be shared universes. It just seems to be different franchises in which the people who own them can do whatever. What? Okay, so there's a horror verse, there's a sci-fi. Okay, let's read some standard boilerplate from Eric Stevenson. It's been incredible to see how much planning has gone into what Ghost Machine collaborators are putting together. It's an amazing list of talent. But beyond that, they're giving every aspect of this line a lot of thought, so that it's more than just another series launch. It's a true event.
Who am I
the way they're
simping
working
for?
together and working with Image make this a noteworthy development.
It's a terrible thing. I got Jeff Johns, who was one of my older partners that I kind of respect a lot, and I got your boy Zack, who is also one of my older partners who I respect a lot, and your boy Zack's going in on Jeff Johns, man. It's fucking weird. And he doesn't, and I don't know what to say about this. Like, here's the thing. He's absolutely right. Like, there have been so many of these gay, like, we're gonna get together and make our own comic universe now. I got invited to be a part of one of them right when I was being canceled. Right after I'd been fired from DC. I got called by the guy who wrote Batman Dark Knight for me, the guy who ended up introducing me to Jordan Peterson. And he said, listen, we're going to be in the New York Times. We're doing this thing. We got some seed money here. And you're invited to join us and draw one of the books that we're planning. And it was interesting because I think at the time, Cyberfrog Bloodhoney had raised $250,000, which seemed like amazing money to me, because I had been working at DC my whole life. And when you're working at DC, you don't see $250,000 ever. You don't see that kind of money. So I said, I think I'm going to be okay here for what I'm doing. I appreciate it. But A, I think that I'm like way too radioactive right now. I'd hurt your company. And B, I don't think you can pay me what I'd be able to make on my own. So I'm just going to stick with Cyberfrog. And they were cool. And that company's out of business now, of course. This is different, though, because it is Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is not fly by night. He's going to be there. He's going to stick through this. Ghost Machine has been his studio for at least a decade. And he's got the best talent. Like, I like all of these guys. The best talent working with him. Impact Player says, I think this is one reason Zack doesn't do streams. I think he secretly fears people disagreeing with him and calling him out to his face live on camera. Yeah, maybe. I think in this case, Zack is actually jealous of this, but just impatient and disgusted with comics. Like, I mean, is this going to work? No, it's not going to work. Ghost Machine, these comics will be dead in 2 years. But before they die, like, they'll get some money. They're going to get some movie deals. So these guys are they'll have some good work done. They'll get a nice trade paperback of the work that they did, and they're going to get movie deals or TV deals. So these guys are all in for some pretty big paychecks. Jeff Johns leading the way. I think they're going to do okay. Listen, I worked with Jeff Johns, and my biggest royalty checks and stuff all came from the work that I did with him. So I don't know. Like, there are lots of things to make fun of. I don't know if this is one of them. Let me say.
For us, as well as a must-read. This is. It's so funny that they have this big drama and controversy about like AI replacing humans, and in cases like this, that statement that I just read, how would you know? How would you know if Eric Stevenson was replaced with ChatGPT? Like, he just said literally nothing. Okay, so it just sounds like there's an imprint at Image in which a bunch of creators and a good luck lesbian are
good luck
going
lesbian
to make some books.
Every time you say lesbian, it makes me laugh. Like, I'm like a 14-year-old in that way, or 12-year-old. Like, the word lesbian makes me laugh. It's a good punchline. Urashima Ataru says, so is doing Ghost Machine like this just to get investors? Is he doing Ghost Machine like this just to get investors? No, I think he's doing this to get properties out to Hollywood. That's what it is. And he's bringing his friends along because I think Jeff sees that DC's a sinking ship. So, you know, these guys, hey, look, here's a chance to maybe these guys will make $1 million each. Maybe they will. I would trust Jeff Johns. I really would to get me through this. Get a nice check. Do all this work. Get paid to do the comic book. Comic book royalties are going to be okay. They're not going to be that great, but they'll be all right. And then the media deal that Jeff's going to negotiate could end up netting these guys maybe $1 million each. So is it worth it? Yeah, definitely. Derizatron. Regarding your previous comments about bad faith, good faith, valid and invalid criticism, where would you say Zach's comments sit regarding this? I think this is in bad faith, but he does have a point about this same story popping up all the time. But it's not just that it's in bad faith, it's just stupid. So, you know, the main thing isn't whether it's in good faith or bad faith. Like, I think Zach is impatiently making this video, and these comments aren't based on a good analysis of what's going on, and therefore they're stupid and worth tossing aside. Like, I wouldn't listen to Zach about this. I don't think he's correct. That's all. Does that make sense? All right. Let me see. Demina says only EVS can be a success in his mind. How did I say that? Where does that come from? It says I got haters. Stop hating on me. Just be nice. Steve Giblin says they won't age well. What won't? This company or the video? I don't know. DeResitoran says, yes, it does. I just burst out laughing at they're just stupid, which is what it is. Yeah, it's wrong. You know, when I say criticism, good faith, bad faith doesn't exist with criticism. It's not about good faith or bad faith. It's about, is the criticism correct or is it incorrect? That's all. There is like a sense that you go, well, why would somebody be saying something that's incorrect? And then you could go, well, because they're approaching this story in bad faith. Like, Zach is impatient with the comic book industry. In a way, he's a little bit jealous, I would say, of this situation. This is a big, like, victory for everybody involved. Like, it's a big win for all these guys, and they've earned it. Like, I'm not jealous of any of these guys. Am I jealous of them? Hold on. I'd like to work with Jeff, I guess, but I wouldn't rather work with Jeff than what I'm doing. I really like Jeff. I liked working with him. It was great. So I would like to be among these guys, but I wouldn't want to do this project. What is that? Where does that put me? Jealous or no? I'll just say yes. I'll say, yeah, I'm jealous of this. This is great. Good for these guys. But there's another thing about like being jealous and kind of just hating it for no real reason. I'm jealous because it looks like a really good opportunity. And, you know, working with really brilliant creators, there's nothing better than that. It's a lot of fun to get to work with Jeff and like Gary Frank and Brian Hitch and Jason Fabik. Brad Meltzer, and it just seems like a good time. Pete Tomasi's there. So, yeah, it's okay to be jealous of something that's good. I mean, if something is like, not jealous, but like, is jealous like an ugly word? Envious? Is that better? No, is that worse? But I don't, I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it. Just go, wow, that's really great. Good for you guys. I wish I were like you guys. I wish I was with you guys on this. Appreciative. Yeah, maybe. Brad Meltzer sucks eggs, says Kevin. He's always been nice to me. All these guys, every single one of these people has been nice to me. I have no complaints about any of them. They've all been very kind. None of them have felt the need to come out and go, ComicsGate's a hate group. Nobody's done that. No, covetous is a sin. Envious is probably the best. Envious is worse than jealous. I don't know then. You understand what I mean. Son of Liberty Radio says, Jeff is making Geiger for Paramount with the guy who made Dear White People. Doesn't sound like it'd be good. That's weird. Well, I mean, listen, as long as it's not, full of propaganda like Dear White People, then maybe it's going to be all right. Tiny Baby Slaw says, do you think Jeff would ever get in a live stream with you? Maybe when he retires, but for what reason? Like, what would it benefit him to be on this live stream? Like, it's all like, people are like, you should get Mark Miller on your show. And Mark, by the way, if I asked Mark, he would definitely do it, but I don't want to give him trouble. I keep saying this over and over again. There are people, in order to be in ComicsGate and in order to be on my show, you have to accept that you're going to get shit on. I mean, that's just the way it is. Like, you are going to get called a hater, part of a hate group, all this stuff. So, and if you appear on my show, people are going to say, don't you know that you're appearing with a white supremacist? How could you? I don't want to, first of all, I don't need the press for somebody like Mark Miller to be on the show. It's not something that I need to do. And second of all, I don't want to do that to him. Even if I think it's unfair and evil that this is a situation, it's not important to me that I force that issue. And I think it would be selfish to sort of ask somebody to endure that just to prove that they agree with me that things aren't fair. Does that make sense? I'm saying, does that make sense a lot? Because it's 3:30 in the morning and I'm not sure if I'm expressing myself well. Yeah. Mark Miller has so much more money than you. There's no way that would give him trouble. It still would. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It's do you want people calling you like, he associates with bigots? I know what they've done to me. I don't want to do that to other people. It's enough for me that like Mark is cool. And when asked about me, Mark says, I like Ethan. I've never had a problem with him. That's enough for me. Just be brave enough to say that. Dave Finch was brave enough to say that Ethan's my friend. He never did anything to me. I don't believe he's a Nazi. That's all you have to do. I'm not going to parade you around and try to cause you harm. People are nice to you because you look like Santa, says Frackle Felger Carb. Yeah. I'm going to let my beard go gray, I think, for Christmas again. It's always nice. See these videos of me in December with a big full white beard, All right. So, here we go. Ghost of a Chance. More of Zach. I think I'm done with this. I don't think Zach knows what he's trying to say. Let me see if he's got another video. You don't say. This might be better. Let's try this one.
Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
That's why I love Nestle.
Shorts. I'm sorry. I still like Zach a lot. I think he's gone cuckoo-luckoo about some things. Exit interview. Corrupt journalist tortures grieving. What? Grieving what? A grieving comic shop owner says they close up shop forever. This is Heidi McDonald. How long is this? This video is 27 minutes. I can't do this. I can't do this. I would like to watch this video. Maybe I'll watch it while I'm drawing. I did watch his, looks like 7 days ago, I watched his Mags Visaggio video. Let's watch this one again.
Hi, everyone. It's your boy, Zack. So Mags wants to trans Superboy, Connor Kent. And I believe a lot of people are going to cover this. I'm sure they'll do a great job, but I have a different take.
Oh, good.
Now, let's just all look at the screen and just realize how fucking absolutely
It's so gross.
laughable, ridiculous, cliche this is. Also, I believe that this was done using the aid of AI, because it looks like Derek might have only just rushed out these.
That is
sketches,
disgusting.
as a favor to Mags.
It's so gross.
Mags has been trying to get some attention lately. I know it's a scary time to be trans, but there was like, what, 3 years total where it could reasonably have been called, quote, not scary, unquote, out of the last like 2,000. The point is to eradicate us. No, the point is, for about 3 years, you got to act like a complete fucking lunatic.
Yep.
And still get hired by Marvel, DC, IDW, still get Hollywood deals. And that time has passed. Very suddenly, I got stuff to do. I don't have time to edit out the coughs.
Does he edit his
Very
cough?
suddenly, I might add. Then she says, since it's never going to happen, yes, I was going to make Connor Kent a trans girl. I give you Skyrocket, my master plan for a story that will never happen. And then she gives the Dropbox for that. So
Skyrocket. Ugh.
This is it. I've read it. It's funny. My friend said, he sent me the link and he's like, are you ready to read the stupidest thing you're going to read all day? And I was like, all day? This is easily all year. So it's Mags pitching a story about how Superboy was actually trans all along. Because do you remember when he first appeared, he said, don't ever call me Superboy, which means he was actually a girl.
Cringe rocket.
Yeah, nobody thought that ever in 30 years.
Trans
Nobody
people are
ever
crazy.
thought that, because the context was Superman.
Trans people are crazy because they think that being trans is a whole lot more common than it is. And probably because they find each other and associate with each other. And so all their friends are also trans. And so they think like, oh my God, there's so many trans people in the world. And there just aren't. So like, should there be any trans superheroes? No. And if there are, maybe one. And by the way, don't trans an already existing character that's stupid. There might be some weirdo out there that is trans in Gotham City. I'd say the Joker might be trans, but maybe a version of the Joker might be trans. So he's clearly mentally ill, and this is not a thing. The idea of Superboy going, I'm trans, is not a thing, but it's so, as Heel versus Baby Face might say, it's so current day. It's current day. The real world just isn't this. People are warped by the internet. And I think what it is that, and this is probably true of a lot of things, like because of the internet, we're all way closer to each other than we need to be. Like if it weren't for the internet, I would know the people that lived in my town and what their attitudes were. I'd know my family, my friends from high school, the people I work with. Those would be the people that I interact with. I wouldn't be able to find a community of people who were just like me and live in a bubble with them. I wouldn't be able to. I'm grateful that I can, but that's a double-edged sword because people like Mags can also do the same thing, and then it just warps the entire world. It's like there are so many of us out there. No, there aren't, but you've all found each other, and now you're ruining comics. By the way, the other thing is, every trans person I know in comics is horrible. I know a couple of trans people in real life who are very nice. One of them is woman to man, very nice. But every trans person I know in comic books, and those are the ones I know the most of and about, are the fucking worst people on the face of the earth. They're the worst scum on the face of the earth. They're anxious to hurt other people. They're crazy. They're hostile. And they have, you know what it is? They have the bitchiness of women, but the aggressiveness of men. And I think that's the big problem. I think that's why these ones that we deal with, there are like 3 or 4 of them in comics, are such pieces of shit. I mean, they're just, as human beings, pieces of shit. And I would say otherwise. I don't know people in comics who are trans who are nice people right now. They're all like, everyone's after it. The comics is a hate group, and I'm going to make Superboy trans. Nobody wants this. Like, people are going to get angry about this. Like, nobody wants you to do this. People will get angry about it. So don't do it. And thank God DC Comics said no for once. All right, let me see.
Man had been killed. There were a bunch of replacements popping up. Superboy popped up. He looked like a teenager. So one of these, what is this? The Newsboy Legion? Don't ever call us newsboys. We are news girls. So he says, don't ever call me Superboy. Obviously, every person who isn't autistic, who isn't a lunatic, who isn't a narcissist, took this for what it was, that he wanted to be called Superman. Spider-Man, when he was first introduced, was the same age, and he didn't want people to call him Spider-Boy. He was Spider-Man. He's out there doing a man's job, risking his life. Don't diminish him by calling him Superboy. Every single person in the world got it. They continue to get it. This has been reprinted 1,000,000 times. But for narcissist, lunatic people like Mags, this was a subtle hint. And Mags is going to mention the word subtlety several times in her ridiculous, laughable pitch. Now, I could absolutely go through this word by word. It would probably take a while. Mags is not a good writer. She is not succinct. I believe all of this is a first draft written while addled with prescription and non-prescription drugs. It is terrible. It is laughable. Okay, I'll just give the brief bullet points. Superboy feels bad because he's under the shadow of Superman. So what if he became his own man or his own woman?
He's good. This is a good video. Let me read some super chats. People are saying I missed a few. All right, let me check it out. If Superboy trans, how would you cut his D off? Says Peppermint Oil Capsule. He'd have to do it himself, right? With his laser vision, would that work? His heat vision? I don't know. Jealousy is your own stuff. Envy is other people's, says Hiroshima Taru. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know for a nice way to say that. Like, oh, wow, I'm envious. That's great. Like, of the Ghost Machine stuff. Jealous is like, oh, you could say that in a way that's kind of like self-effacing. But no, I would say that I admire them. I think they deserve what they're getting, and it's terrific. Jeff is making Geiger. Okay, I read this one. Got to make the pond bigger. I think I did this just to make sure. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. I appreciate that. This is really great. Good man. ECG overnight starts now, says Eric Wimberg. Yeah, I can't always guarantee it because sometimes it'll become the morning show. You know. All right. Here we go. Moving forward.
Because he was actually a woman all the time. Just like everyone. Just like the entire human race.
Deanna,
we're all gay
yes.
and trans.
Yes.
That's how there's 8 billion of us on the planet. A lot of stupid stuff in here. There's a lot of just, I am very high in this pitch. Like assuming that Mags would have a series that would last 12 to 24 issues when Mags has never gone more than, I believe, 5 issues in a row. One of her miniseries had sales so bad that only the first, one of them was immediately canceled. Like The other ones were drawn, and they're just like, we're not releasing this. Other of her miniseries, like the first 4 issues went to print, and the last one they didn't even bother printing it. It just went on Comixology. I don't need to recount how much of a joke Max is.
Okay, I mean, listen, I don't care. Like those last 2 videos that we looked at were garbage. This is Zack. This is the Zack that I love. It's angry. This is garbage. This is trash. Like really, like teeing off on trash. I was on Mundane Matt's live stream the other day. He asked me to come on there, I think, because he was really excited to maybe talk like I was going to diss Eric July, and I ended up not dissing Eric July and actually talking about comics with him. But one of the things that I said, I was critical of YouTube culture in general, in which, basically there's a way bigger demand for super shitty movies than there are shitty current movies. I mean, a lot of movies aren't so good, but I mean, when you're looking for woke content to prove that Hollywood is taken over by woke people and therefore woke is everywhere, in cartoons. The fact is Hollywood has been taken over by woke people who are pulling the levers of power, who have control and all these things. But it doesn't mean every single movie that they do is either woke or terrible. And if your entire business is based around just calling everything woke and terrible, you are going to sound like a clown. And I said, I think everybody got this idea from like Mystery Science Theater 3000, where it's so fun to like kick the ass of a piece of shit movie. The thing is, though, Mystery Science 3000, they were really funny and witty, where most of these zeros don't have a brain in their fucking heads and can't put together a coherent sentence or thought, an interesting original thought. And second of all, there's an entire backlog. When your target is every single movie that has gone into the public domain or could be rented or licensed for a small fee, you're going to be able to have a large crop of terrible, shitty, offensive movies to choose from. And that's why that show was so good. Your boy Zack here, if he's got to make videos like this all the time, he can't do it. But when it comes to this, he is in the zone. I love this. And like from 2017 to 2018, when people like Max Visaggio were all over the place making terrible comics, when the SJWs were fully trying to enforce and change comics by making women less sexy and costumes cover people up a lot more, when terrible, awful, kind of like It's So Random, lol, writers were writing Squirrel Girl and all this nonsense. The era of America Chavez, as written by What's-Her-Face, random lesbian, fake Latina lesbian. That was when he was at his best. Mwah! I love those diversity in comics videos. Amazing. This is vintage. This is so good. A lot of it, like now when I look at his channel, a lot of it just seems like cope. Like I'm jealous of a lot of stuff that's going on and, this and that. Like he's clearly very jealous of what's her name, the black queer, the brown queer lesbian, whatever, who was writing X-Men all the time. He makes a lot of videos about her, calling her retarded and stuff. Some people theorize that Zack secretly really just wants to work for Marvel, and I don't know about that. Like he never really said that to me, but maybe deep down that's true. Could be. But again, man, in order to have a channel as effective as Diversity in Comics was, you need to be right at the heart of crazy people making destructive, stupid, and offensive choices over something that a lot of people love. And the problem is, a lot of these crazy, stupid, destructive people have been pushed to the margins and are no longer really allowed to. Nobody's humoring them as much as they used to. And B, nobody cares about comics anymore. The mainstream's dead. Like people aren't reading comics as much as they used to. The comic book media sites are like, they're just hollowed. They've been hollowed out. A lot of SJWs, listen, the comic book industry is still being piloted by people who are like social justice and all this stuff, but just isn't the same as it was. So this is like vintage, and it's really, really fun because Zack's anger is deserved here. It like this makes me angry. The idea that Connor Kent exists and Max Visaggio's like, that's a character that nobody cares about, so I can fuck them up by turning them trans and making myself feel less weird about myself. No, you can't. No, we won't let you do that. No, not without resistance. We are going to push back on that and push you right back into the margins again. If you want trans superheroes, invent them yourself. Simple as that. Invent them so I can ignore them, so that I don't have to think about the fact that, like, you destroyed a character that I used to draw. I drew Superboy, Connor Kent, way back in the Impulse days. I'm sure I drew him a few times throughout the years. Invent your own shit like Kim and Kim so that I can safely ignore it. And so that your target audience, whatever that is, so that they can slither into the comic book store and buy it. And that's it. And keep them away from normal stuff. Vita Ayala. Yeah, Vita Ayala is the name. I always forget Vita Ayala's name. Oh, God. Make them interesting, at least, says Barb. I don't care. Like, there's no level of interest that's going to make me read a book about two trans people hitting people with bass guitars and flying through space. You can't. There's no possible way. I don't care who writes that. I'm not reading it. Grant Morrison could write it, and I think he did. And I'm not, or was it Mark Miller that wrote something like that? Like, Mags thought it was a ripoff of Kim and Kim. I'm still not reading it. It's disgusting. It's weird, creepy, spooky. All
right. So her plan was to spend up to a year and a half doing the most standard boilerplate. Oh, I'm Superboy, but I don't want to be called that. Why do I have to live in the shadow of Superman? Here's the deal. I am not an expert in Superboy.
Oh,
I did read this comic.
Yeah, actually, hold on. I do like this trans character. Tim Burton's Frankenfurter. But I think he was a transvestite. He wasn't like transsexual. Well, he was from transsexual Transylvania. There's a lot of trans happening there. That character was great. Dr. Frankenfurter was perfect. Rocky Horror is a horror movie. It's a horror movie about a man in makeup who wants to fuck your wife and you. Oh, God. I used to go see that. I was a teenager, I went through a goth phase when I was a teener. And there were some older kids who had a car. And we would go out. We'd go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show on Friday nights. And it's the weirdest thing. Like, I didn't realize these people were just abject nerds. I was just like, oh, cool. This is my tribe, Such, like, scummy nerds. And they would, like, they do this every Friday. They would show in this rundown movie theater, which was kind of charming, They would show the Rocky Horror Picture Show on the movie screen. And then right in front of the movie screen, they would have actors who would act out what was going on the screen. And people would know that there were, most of you probably realize this, people would know there were prompts. Like when there was a point when you threw, I can't even remember what they were, but you would throw spoons at the stage or something, you bring plastic spoons. I can't remember what everything was, but everybody knew. There were lines that you would say back to the screen. It was kind of like a live Mystery Science Theater. So when, the guy's like, there were clouds in the sky, heavy, black, pendulous. And right before the guy said that, you'd say, describe Bill Cosby's balls. Heavy, black, pendulous. And everybody go, ah. A toast. Oh, you throw toast. Yeah, a toast. And it was fun. Like, I did that maybe 3 or 4 times with these kids. I'd go there. And I had a really nice time. Afterwards, we'd go to a Jersey diner. We'd have, like, coffee and stuff. But it was great, man. It was fun. I like Rocky Horror Picture Show. EBS would throw a dildo. I didn't throw anything. I was like a stranger in a strange land. I'm the guy who's there going, everybody else here goes to this every single Friday night, and they all know what they're doing. And I'm just looking around like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. That's funny that you just did that and said that. It's funny that you just threw that thing on the fucking ha. I didn't know what to do. And I was never there. I didn't go enough times to ever learn, but it was still fun. I still think about it like Those were my teenage days. You know, almost dragged into this kind of nerdy Rocky Horror Picture Show cult. It's like church.
Most of the first year of his solo series, I'm a huge fan of Tom Grumet. So that's why I read it. But the funny thing is that Mags promises to answer questions about identity, about his superhero name, about his place in the world that were answered in the first year of the solo series almost 30 years ago. Now, what this is really all about is, it just goes on and on and on. But this is the only part that matters. It's so stupid. So at one point, Superboy, Connor Kent, goes into a module that changes him, and he emerges. And then the chamber opens. Connor emerges. Or should I say, Connie? And it's Mags as Superboy.
It's so gross.
That's Mags. That's literally Mags.
Ugh.
Mags is Superboy. Just to make sure you know that this is a very natural and organic direction, Mags puts it in bold letters. Then Mags has an unforced error saying that I believe this is as natural a move as Iceman's coming out. The whole dynamic I've been describing in this comic is one of the struggle to secure a sense of self. And it's just incredibly trans. Yes.
Everything
Mags,
is trans.
If you've ever wondered who you are, where you're going, what is your place in the world, that is a trans story. And also everyone else on Earth. Just it's everyone, but it's also trans, but somehow it's trans.
Mm-hmm.
So this is idiotic. It's dumb. One of the things that's always interesting to me is to discover that there is a much simpler answer for everything. Like, why are comics so bad? Yes, these people are activists. Yes, these people are learning disabled. Yes, these people are autistic. Yes, these people are narcissists. They're just dumb.
Yep.
They're just a bunch of dummies. Vita's dumb. Danny's dumb.
Vita, Danny,
Max is
Ayala.
dumb. Heather's dumb.
Heather's
They're
dumb.
just dumb
Max.
losers.
Dumb losers.
And when you give great properties
To
to dumb,
dumb
losers, they say, what if the Superboy was trans? Like me. Just like me. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
But here's
I love
my
it.
actual point.
Zack is great, man.
Oh, and there's this weird plot point where Superboy's a clone and his brain is literally like degenerating. It's melting. And Mags is like, like a trans person. It's like, ooh, that is not the trans allegory you were hoping for. Oh, Jesus. Like your brain is melting and you're like, I think I'm a woman. But this is what I want to talk about.
Yes.
That in an effort for whatever reason, and most likely multiple reasons,
Right.
to make an already diverse industry more diverse, they said, we need some trans people. We need some Black women. We need some lesbians.
Welcome, Liam
And
Gray.
all we have to do is absolutely obliterate all of our standards. Derek Robertson has been in the industry for more than 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
He has done amazing runs on good books, great books, New Warriors. He did Trans Metropolitan. He did a lot of work with Garth Ennis.
I know him.
Now
He's a good guy.
he's in his mid-50s drawing sketches for a 100% likelihood of failing pitch by a fucking retard. This is not something that happens in any kind of solvent, stable industry. Now, Mags sent this in, and Mags was told, we are not interested. But there are multiple problems. Mags should not have anyone's email at DC.
Right. Go back Dino King,
And
everyone.
if she did get it at one time, her emails should not be answered. This is beyond laughable. This is below pathetic.
Love it.
Mags's existence in the industry, even as a failure, lowers the entire industry.
It's true.
You don't want to see me at the NFL Combine. If they allow me into the NFL Combine, for people who are not American or don't know about football, I barely do. I just like that word. It's fun, Combine. It's basically a tryout for people who didn't get recruited the first time, or maybe your contract lapsed. So you just go show off your skills.
Right.
How fast you are, how high you can jump, things like that. I should never be allowed in it. At any age, I was never remotely a candidate. You don't want to see me in the NBA. You don't want to see me at Wimbledon.
Right.
If I am there, it has destroyed, or all standards have been destroyed for all of those very elite, exclusive arenas. It's funny. She's talking about sense of self, and Mags obviously has no sense of self. If Mags did, Mags would know this is laughable. It's pathetic. It's beyond parody that people are going to pass this around and mock her in the offices and now. But this isn't really about mocking. I mean, I can just go line by line and just make fun of how absolutely idiotic this is. The point is, Mags should have never gotten into the industry. If she gets in accidentally due to wokeness,
Yeah, this is your boy Zack.
whatever. Once people realize that Mags is a fraud, that Mags is a lunatic,
right,
that Mags tries to destroy people who tried to help her, that Mags lobs false accusations at people, that should have been the end. And honestly, Derek Robertson even taking 30 minutes to draw this as a favor. Why is anyone doing a favor for Mags in 2023? Because that's the date down here, 2023. Like, seriously, Derek, this is where you are 30 years into your career. But this is where people find themselves, in a desperate, insolvent, collapsing industry. You find yourself at the age of, 53, 55, drawing shit for an idiot. We don't need to say, how did we get here? We know how we got here, step by step.
Yeah.
When my friend sent me the link and I read this, I said, this needs to be in a museum. It needs to be printed out. If this was drawn on paper, it's hard to tell these days because you can do all these things on Photoshop that actually makes it look like it was drawn on paper. But I think maybe if this is original art, it needs to be located and it needs to be acquired because it is historically important. They are going to rewrite history. The people who destroyed the industry are going to write the history for it. This is very unique in human history. Usually, what do they say? I'm blanking, it's early. But they say history is written by the winners. But the history of comics will be written by the losers. And they will just throw out a grab bag. They will say, oh, there was a paper shortage, there was a recession, video games, hate groups. They will do everything but admit that it was destroyed by them. It's funny, at one point, Mags is talking about how cheesy the 1990s tood of Superboy is, as if this isn't the most perfect example of the absolute shit that the mainstream industry is currently. An imbecilic diversity hire, like 10 years into her career, Eisner nominated, saying, hey, do you remember in I think it was 93 for the Adventures of Superman. Do you remember 30 years ago when Superboy said, don't call me Superboy? Yeah, it's because he's trans like me. You can tell people shut the fuck up. Max, shut the fuck up. Max, why are you here? Max, how did you get my email? I didn't give it to you. Mags, do not write to me ever again. Do not send me anything ever again. No, I will not draw you as Superboy, Mags. You're pushing 40. Grow the fuck up and get a job and stop begging people for money to pay your bills. This is a document. It's a document of a downfall. This is sabotage. The destruction is coming from those inside the industry. I mean, seriously, look at this shit. This is fucking ridiculous. Yes, it's funny in some ways. Yes, it's cringe, but mostly it's sad and infuriating. Writing is a job for intelligent people. Your brain needs to work properly. If you are retarded, learning disabled, severely autistic, you can't write. If you are a narcissist who can only make every character about you, then just make your shitty Netflix pitch comics that sell less than 1,000 copies in the direct market. Stop taking characters better than anything you've ever created by people that are better creators than you will ever be, and stop sullying them. Derek Robertson should be having a talk with himself. How did I get to the point where I am drawing this idiotic shit? And again, I don't think this was inked. I think this was AI doing this, because this inking is terrible. It's a real problem, and it's a problem that was identified much too late. You destroyed an entire industry to appease to broke retards who live in filth for the, let's say, limited amount of time they are going to have a home at all. It's fucking pathetic. I am going to grimly enjoy the next few decades of your life with the constant begging and GoFundMes. And this isn't just to Mags, this is to all the people who did this. That's going to be your punishment. Your punishment for destroying an industry is going to be dying in poverty after living in poverty for decades. Yeah, I'm angry. I'm really fucking angry. This was an American institution, and it was destroyed by narcissistic fucking Dunning-Kruger losers. This is Mags. Mags's idea is that Superboy's Mags. Fuck off, you fucking piece of shit. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? How do you suck this much? Be this much of a fucking failure? Middle-aged and begging strangers. And say, you know who's a superhero? Me. This character looks 40. Okay, I got much more angry than I thought I was going to be. There's a lot of fun to be had of just making fun of how terrible of a pitch this is, how idiotic and how predictable. But honestly, somebody needs to acquire this original art.
I will.
Because it does belong in a museum to explain to future generations how a vibrant industry was destroyed by a bunch of fucking retards who don't have the capability to run the shake machine at McDonald's. Anyway, before I go, First Kill graphic novel link is in
before I
the
go
description.
Here's my book.
Watching. Bye.
I love it, Zach. Great job. Terrific. That was fun. Vintage your boy. You know, before I go, I want to tell you guys about one of my favorite comics, and that is Dino King, Edge of Extinction, by the esteemed Mr. Liam Gray. Dino King, great logo. Little bit tight, a little bit tough to read. A little bit. I think the letters could be separated a little bit more if I could criticize. But really, really beautiful. This cover here alone. If I saw this on the stands, I would buy it. If this were a video game, I would play it. You know, as long as it didn't have Vinny Art's name on it, I would definitely be a part of it. It's really great. The interior art, manga. It's for some of you guys who really like manga. Really good stuff. It just looks like fun. Look at this. And I think you should back it. I think you should support Dino King. It looks really, really fun. It looks like a good comic book. For that reason alone. People say, why do you choose to support the comics that you do or promote them? I don't know, just because they look good. No other reason. I mean, if they look good, I'm going to support them. The Electric Blue Cyberfrog variant action figure campaign. We're shipping out action figures every single day now. People are getting them and rejoicing. Do you have one coming? Did you order an action figure yet? If not, you can do it here, and you'll receive your action figure pretty damn soon. We're cutting through the orders pretty fast. So back this. Cyberfrog Dark Harvest. This will be the next installment of Cyberfrog. Also, we have these beautiful, oh my God, this is going to look so good. Cyberfrog Blood Honey Chromium. I think this is the third printing now. But this has never been a chromium cover before, so this is the first time this cover will be chromium. This is getting printed alongside the Trump mugshot variant, which is not chromium. But those will be coming with these at the same time. First time I put a #1 on the cover, just because so many people now, you know, my initial bright idea was, no, you just release books like with titles and, you know, they're like Harry Potter novels. But people go, where do I start? How do I get into Cyberfrog? I'll put a #1 on the cover now. And I think I'm going to do a reprint of Cyberfrog 1998, The Diary of Heather Swain. But I'll do it full size, and I'll put a 1.2 or a 1.5 on it to just show that it's like the next step before Wreck Planet, Cyberfrog 2, and then, you know, Salamandroid, blah, blah, blah. I'll kind of like when I do reprints eventually, I'm going to do renumberings so that they're going to be easy to follow. Dark Harvest is the next chapter of the book. The Unforgettable Tales hardcover. This looks like this is beautiful. We have this in stock already. It's really, really nice. We don't have too many of them, so make sure that you have one coming if you don't already. And then, of course, last but not least is the Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination campaign. Red Extermination boxes. Get them while you can. Wow, this campaign is going to be going for a while. Some people are saying, how long do I have to back it? You have plenty of time. Don't worry about it. But don't miss it, whatever you do. Catch up on everything Cyberfrog. Be ready for the third chapter. It is going to be the most fulfilling and intense chapter of Cyberfrog to date. People really liked Wreck Planet. Like I said, I'm so happy with the reviews. The reviews have been really, really good. People are saying, why is everybody saying Ethan Van Sciver can't write when clearly he's one of the greatest writers of our time? Let me see. In before EVS, don't even know his comic's name. It's Unforgettable, not Unforgettable. Did I say Unforgettable? It's the middle of the night. I'm tired. You're not showing it, dummy. Oh, I didn't show the Dark Harvest campaign. My bad. Hold on. Let me just go back and show it really quickly here. I forgot to click the button. This is the Dark Harvest campaign. By the way, all the links are in the description below. This is the cover for Blood Honey, as it's going to look in chromium with a #1 on it. It says first issue on it, just so that to clear up confusion, so that when we're sold out of every other version of Blood Honey. When this is our version of Blood Honey that's for sale on our eBay store, people will say, what's Cyberfrog #1? Here it is. It's got a #1 on it for the first time. So it's really pretty. My favorite of the Blood Honey covers, finally in chromium. I hope you guys get it, and I hope you enjoy it. Right here, it's only $25. When we have it in stock, and when I cut this campaign off, which is going to be pretty soon, because all this stuff is going to go over to our eBay store, this is going to cost $40, not $25. We have our orders in. I ordered 3,000 copies, and we've sold 1,600 so far. So we have only 1,400 copies of the Chromium left. That's not too many. So get your order in. If you want to buy this for $25, get your order in. You can get it later for $40, but why not pre-order it now? Just make sure that you have it. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me here. Appreciate it. Is Cyberfrog Blood Honey a reboot of the 1994 Cyberfrog? Says absolutely, absolute. Yeah, kind of like it's like the way I see the 90s Cyberfrog stuff is it all happened, but it didn't happen that way. So I'm going to kind of explain it a little bit. See this kind of Heather Swain's fever dream, the 90s. All you really need to know is that, yes, Cyberfrog was a superhero, a chaotic, mischievous, but kind of lazy superhero in the 1990s. And Blood Honey kind of picks that up. It explains, it shows a lot of the 90s stuff, and then it goes right into the present, which is 2018. 2018 is the year that everything's happening. Barb Rogers, thanks for the super sticker. Let me see these last bit of super chats here. Pushing 40. That's it. I'm pushing 40. And if I look like Mags, I do something. I can't express in YouTube chat to myself. Oh, my goodness. Cars and Dev says, if Mags had a genuine sense of self, he wouldn't have cut his schlong off. Wow. Mr. Self-Destruct says, do you think you could ever get Jesse Lee Peterson on? I don't know. I never thought of it. What would we talk about? Lesbians? That might be fun. The spoons, throwing the spoons, were for the live showing of The Room. You're right. I went to one and hung out with Tommy Wiseau. It was wild. I'm jealous and envious and all things that are good that describe healthy feelings of I wish I were you. Amazing. She's a lesbian. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to get to work, and I'm going to be shipping some stuff out of my warehouse. You don't have to drop by my warehouse if you don't want to. We don't have to make a habit of that. But I will see you again very, very soon. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful, amazing day.
Who's the leader of the cult that's run by PTP? B-U-N-P-E-O-N-E-E-R-S. Hey there, hi there, ho there, you're as welcome as can be. B-U-N-P-E-O-N-E-E-R-S. Engineers. Oxygenic mushrooms get you high. Walk around the system with a buckler in your ear. B-U-N-P-E-O-N-E-E-R-S.
Dungeon Beer Club, we'll have fun, we'll meet new faces, we'll do things and we'll go places. All around the clubs we're marching.
Now it's time to say goodbye to our company.
Inside my asshole. Oh, because we like you.
It'll be soon, but not tonight, Eric July. I'm not quite ready. Though my nights are sleepless, I still dream, Eric July. I dream of that ass. I won and lost many things in my career. Championships, blood. I lost many things in my career. Championships, blood. I never, ever main evented at San Diego Comic-Con. This is my chance. My last chance, Eric July. In my way, there is a man, and that man has my gold. my ticket to the Eisner Awards. He may be the game. You may be the champion. You may be the best in the independent comics industry today, Eric July. I should know. But you are no Alan Moore. You are no Jack Kirby, and you never will be. 50 years I've been chasing this dream, Eric July. Dozens of fractures, hundreds of stitches. Countless nights I bled, Eric July. You may say, this is no dream. This is a nightmare. Maybe, Eric July. But it's your nightmare. And I'm gonna decide when you wake up.
I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away. You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. Coping so hard.